Chapter 51:16. At this moment, Yunyu began to worry about Lin Xian. If Lin Xian was suppressed, then she wouldn't end up well either. Although she wouldn't die, she would probably lose her freedom from then on. She would become the ancestors' puppet for the rest of her life. Lin Gongzi, everything depends on you. Kid, did you see that? Your attack is nothing in front of me. Next move, I'll make you wish you were dead. After the eighth elder slapped away the sword energy, he said coldly. He took another step forward, and an endless golden light appeared in his hand, as if it was the hand of an immortal, divine hand. This move had been used by countless people of the Destiny clan. Even Yun, you had used it before, but compared to the eighth elder, it was too weak. The eighth elder's divine hand was like the palm of a god in the sky. Moreover, the power of the attack had reached the peak. This move had even sealed off all of Lin Xian's escape routes. It could be said that he was very experienced. Under this palm, the kid would definitely not be able to resist. That was for sure. No matter how strong he was, he wouldn't be able to compete with an elder like the eighth elder. Around, the people of the Destiny clan sneered. They wanted to see the fall of the other party with their own eyes. With a boom, Lin Xian was torn into pieces. That's great. The members of the Twin of Destiny clan laughed. However, the eighth elder frowned. Was it an afterimage? His gaze swept in all directions, and he suddenly struck out with a backhand palm. It was the divine hand again. With a loud clang, the palm landed on the Hellfire Dragon sword, causing endless sparks to erupt. The Hellfire Dragon sword retreated, and the eighth elder's arm trembled. What's going on? He was shocked and gasped. The opponent's sword energy was so cold. Not only that, the sword in the opponent's hand was actually an extremely powerful sacred weapon. Thinking of this, he shouted angrily, "Kid, your weapon is mine." Behind him, an evil person with a green face and fangs appeared. It was extremely ferocious and directly pounced on Lin Xian. He wanted to snatch Lin Xian's Hellfire Dragon sword. Get lost! Lin Xian snorted coldly as 9 sun phantoms appeared around his body and enveloped his opponent. It formed a boundary space. The evil child let out a miserable roar as smoke rose from his body. He tumbled between heaven and earth, screaming and retreating. Soon, half of his body shattered. The eighth elder's expression changed. This was his illusion. Now that he was injured, he was also affected. Damn it, the flames of extreme yang. Virtuous ones attacked together. Behind him, the virtuous one, who was as divine as an immortal, rushed over. Endless radiance shone from his body, as if an immortal had descended. It withstood the terrifying flames. At the same time, he struck out with his palm, as if he wanted to seal the Hellfire Dragon sword. Lin Xian roared angrily as he brandished his Hellfire Dragon sword. At the same time, his demonic aura filled the sky. Demonic God seal. A huge seal enveloped heaven and earth, suppressing the virtuous child. At the same time, it transformed into a demonic god. The great spear of destruction swept out, piercing through the evil child. The battle was extremely intense. The good and evil children were destroyed one after another. Then they regrouped again. Those people in the distance were stunned. This brat was actually able to contend with the eighth elder. It was too unbelievable. The eighth elder's expression was also cold. The other party's means were beyond his expectations. He was even more terrifying than his granddaughter, Yunyu. This was a genius that he had never seen before. In his opinion, the other party, who had such means, definitely had an extraordinary background. He said, "Which emperor's son are you?" In the eighth elder's opinion, only the emperor's son had such combat strength. The surrounding people also exclaimed, "Oh God, is he really an emperor's son? Things are not good. Is a great emperor's family going to attack us?" Their expressions became terrified. After all, In this world, the great emperor's family was the most terrifying. A frog at the bottom of a well. Do you only know the emperor's son? I'm not an existence that you can imagine. Lin Xian said coldly. Kid, I'll suppress you and take your soul. Naturally, I'll know who you are. The eighth elder snorted coldly and attacked again. Above his hands, the illusions of the virtuous and evil children circled around. It was so overwhelming that it made one's scalp tingle. Lin Xian sneered. Don't you want to know who I am? I'll let you see my divine power. Endless dragon-shaped illusions appeared beside him. He originally had the bloodline of the 10,000 dragons, and at this moment, he used the power of the great dragon sword soul to evolve it. Tens of thousands of dragons rolled between heaven and earth. Lin Xian shouted coldly, True dragons, 9 revolutions. The bodies of those dragons rotated, and every time they rotated, their power became stronger. It was as if the entire world was about to be torn apart. In the surroundings, the people of the Twin of Destiny clan vomited large mouthfuls of blood and kept retreating. Their expressions became terrified. Dragon, what a terrifying aura of the Tao of Dragons. Is he from the Dragon clan? 10,000 Dragons dynasty. Who are you? The eighth elder also shouted angrily. This is the divine power of a great emperor. Could it be that you are the Dragon Prince? Is he really stunned? Lin Xian sneered and did not answer. The true dragon's 9 revolutions charged out, beating the eighth elder until he kept retreating and vomiting blood. The eighth elder shouted angrily and fought. The tens of thousands of dragon shadows were also torn into pieces. The battle between the two sides was incomparably intense. When the terrifying dragon shadows disappeared, Lin Xian attacked again. He became one with the sword. With a sword, he split the body of the eighth elder. At the same time, monstrous demonic chi appeared again. It's useless. The eighth elder shouted angrily, and the entire mansion shook violently. The good and evil spirits kept growing bigger and bigger. They were tens of thousands of feet tall and attacked Lin Xian. Suppress them! Lin Xian shouted angrily, but his expression was cold. Demon summoning scripture. A hazy demonic shadow appeared behind him, and then he slapped out with his palm. Demon God's seal. The last time he summoned the demonic shadow, he used the demon god's finger, which shattered flawless 100 Miles' bloodline technique. This time, the demon god's seal from this demonic shadow could suppress everything. A terrifying power erupted between heaven and earth, and the surrounding sky collapsed, and the earth cracked. The powerhouses of the Destiny clan, who were close, were all torn apart and turned into a bloody mist. No, Cloud Sky also wanted to escape. In the end, under the strike, he also vanished into thin air. He let out an unwilling roar. He did not expect that he would die like this. The others retreated frantically. Looking at this scene, their scalps went numb. What kind of method was this? What was that demonic shadow? Damn it! The eighth elder shouted angrily and attacked crazily. The two figures collided with the demon god's seal. Between heaven and earth, a storm swept across. The destructive power made everyone's heart tremble. The phantoms of the good and evil spirits collapsed. Endless cracks also appeared on the body of the eighth elder, and it split open with a loud bang. No, he fled frantically into the distance. Under this attack, the mansion where the eighth elder was completely overturned. Countless people turned into a bloody mist. When the cloud of dust dissipated, the eighth elder had already disappeared. Was he dead? Countless people were horrified. They knelt on the ground. Lin Xian frowned and looked into the distance. The other party was not dead. The top powerhouses of the Destiny clan were indeed difficult to kill. However, he did not care, because he had already seen that the only thing in the entire mansion that was still intact was an ancient palace. That should be the place where the statues of the good and evil spirits were stored. Chapter 51:17. Was the eighth elder defeated? The surrounding people couldn't believe it. They knelt on the ground. This was the strongest expert in their clan. How terrifying was his strength! But now he was seriously injured and fled. They felt like they were dreaming. Damn it, I can't believe it. Yunyu's father, the middle-aged man, was terrified. He kept shaking his head. He couldn't accept it. Even Yunyu was stunned. She knew how terrifying her grandfather was. But now he had actually been defeated. Had Lin Xian become so terrifying now? Thinking of this, she took a deep breath and walked forward. She stood on the sea of blood. The bones around her were all crushed by her. The other experts of the Twin of Destiny clan were also shocked by this scene. Even the middle-aged man shouted angrily, kill him quickly. You can do it. Only you can do it." Hope was restored in the eyes of the others. Yu was a top genius. She could fight above her level. She was even more terrifying than the experts of the older generation. If the other party attacked, they might have a chance. Yunyu stood there and ignored her father. She looked at Lin Xian and said, "Young master, the ancestral hall is in front. The thing you want is inside." As soon as she said this, the surrounding people were stunned. "What's going on?" You actually stood on the enemy's side." "Damn it, what's going on? Did Yunyu betray them?" The middle-aged man in front was covered in blood. He roared crazily, Do you know what you are doing? Are you betraying the clan? Kill him quickly." Yunyu looked at the middle-aged man and said coldly, "My life was given to me by Lin Gongzi. This time, I was the one who brought young master here." The middle-aged man collapsed. This was impossible. His daughter actually did such a thing. He couldn't accept it. The other people also roared crazily. A few of them wanted to assassinate him. In the end, they were killed by Lin Xian with a finger. The surrounding people were once again struck by this power until they vomited blood. No one was able to withstand it. Why? Why did you do this? The clan nurtured you with all its strength. You actually betrayed the clan. The middle-aged man roared crazily. Yunyu was expressionless. She sighed. "Why? My dear father, do you really not know?" "That's right. With your talent and strength, you shouldn't be qualified to know. But I think my grandfather should know. Let me tell you why. Some of the top geniuses of our Destiny Gemini clan will be brought to the Ancestral Hall and planted with their soul avatars by our ancestors. That's right. This soul avatar can protect you and save your life at the most critical moment." The middle-aged man quickly said. Yunyu laughed when she heard that. Her eyes were filled with madness. "Save my life? Earlier, when I was in a state of life and death, I summoned the old ancestor's clone. But did he save my life? It is burning my life. It is sucking my strength. I am the soil, and I want to strengthen his clone. One day, his clone will devour me and come out again. Do you think the family is doing all they can to nurture me?" These words were almost like a crazy roar. The middle-aged man was stunned after hearing this. "Impossible?" He shook his head frantically. "Why would the family harm these geniuses?" Yunyu scoffed. "I don't believe it either, but it really happened to me. Moreover, geniuses of our family have mysteriously disappeared more than once. I think they were swallowed by the clone. Since the family wants to use me as a puppet, then don't blame me." Yunyu took a deep breath, and a biting cold light appeared in her eyes. She looked at Lin Xian and said, "Lin Gongzi, you go to the Ancestral Hall. I will collect other resources. Lin Gongzi, you must be fast, otherwise the family headquarters will send experts." After saying that, Yunyu began to search in all directions. She wanted to collect endless resources. It would be easier to use in the future. Lin Xian, on the other hand, narrowed his eyes as he looked ahead. Ancestral Hall? He walked forward. The Ancestral Hall was simple and primitive, and it was a little gray. In fact, Lin Xian didn't know that the ancestral hall here was almost the same as the Destiny Gemini headquarters. It was just that this one was bigger. After entering, the light was a little dim. There seemed to be a layer of fog between heaven and earth, and it was impossible to see clearly. Suddenly, the door of the ancestral hall closed, and the surroundings were completely dark. A terrifying aura swept towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian felt that his life was being taken away. Humph! He snorted coldly. He knew that this place wouldn't be so simple, so he was already prepared. An extremely terrifying flame appeared on his body, shining in all directions. 9 suns stood between heaven and earth, and the surroundings were instantly illuminated. The darkness also disappeared quickly like the sea. Lin Xian found that there was a statue in front of him. The statue was half black and half white. The statue began to split from half of its body to 2 sides. One side was pitch black and ferocious like a demon, while the other side was holy like an angel. The demon held a death scythe in his hand, and the angel held a purification bottle in his hand. An extremely terrifying light burst out from the eyes of the two, and they stared at Lin Xian. "Stupid thing, you dare to have ideas about us. Kneel down obediently and accept your death." The voice carried an extremely strong power, as if a god was looking down on the common people. Lin Xian also felt the suppression. He snorted coldly, and a golden light flickered in his eyes. The great dragon sword soul in his body roared, and an indestructible will seemed to pierce through the sky. He stood there like a sword god and shouted coldly, pretending to be mysterious, "I need your power. Obediently contribute it. Otherwise, don't blame me for breaking your statue. You want my power? Do you think you can?" The statue laughed. The good and evil spirits were full of disdain. "Stupid thing, do you know what kind of existence you are facing?" Lin Xian also said coldly, "Aren't you just some remnant souls? Didn't you know when I swept through the 8th Elder's residence? Since you know why you didn't come out, it means that you have some limitations. With your strength, you can't get out of this ancestral hall. So you are just a remnant soul that is struggling at death's door. You are just a remnant soul, and you want to do anything to me?" Lin Xian waved his hand, and a Taiji diagram appeared in his hand and kept spinning. "Taiji, you have the power of yin and yang." The good and evil statue in front of him roared crazily. Lin Xian was stunned after hearing that. "You actually know Taiji." He was also surprised. He had obtained this thing by chance. Very few people knew it. Everyone only knew yin and yang, but not Taiji. However, the good and evil statue knew it. "Where did you see it?" He said coldly. The statue snorted coldly. "It's useless if you still want to lie to me. Once I kill you, the power in Taiji will be ours." He pounced over crazily. Chapter 51:18. The good and evil statues turned into 2 gusts of wind, as if they were from 2 different worlds, and they pressed down on Lin Xian. Lin Xian sneered and used Shadowless Heaven's net. His movement technique was very strange, and he disappeared in an instant. The power of 2 different worlds pressed down on him. Lin Xian's figure had long disappeared, and he appeared in another direction. In the next moment he roared. A terrifying sword light bloomed, and with an indestructible power, it slashed forward. The sword chi shot into the sky. "Useless kid, you're no match for us." The good and evil statue roared and stretched out 2 palms, one of which was light. The other was darkness. One hand grabbed at the sword chi, and the other grabbed at Lin Xian. In the next moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard, and the 2 big hands of the good and evil statue retracted. They roared crazily. "Damn it! What kind of sword technique is this?" They were really shocked. There were actually 2 cracks on the 2 palms. "How dare you destroy my Dharma idol?" He roared crazily. It was too unbelievable. His statue was not casually built. It was his Dharma idol that was combined with extremely precious heaven and earth treasures to condense into a statue. Moreover, it received countless worship and offerings every day, and it could be said that it contained endless power. In the Hall of Poetry, he was like a ruler. No matter who came, they couldn't do anything to him. Now that a young man came in his eyes, the other party was an ant that would definitely die. It would be easy for him to kill the other party. However, the current situation was beyond his expectations. The other party's sword chi actually injured him, and he couldn't bear it. Lin Xian snorted coldly. I told you, you're just a remnant soul, struggling at death's door. How can you compete with me? Lin Xian looked around disdainfully, releasing an extremely terrifying sword chi that shook the sky and the earth. It was as if the entire ancestral hall was about to be shattered. He waved the Hellfire Dragon sword and slashed over. There was a dragon-shaped sword chi on the Hellfire Dragon sword, erupting with endless power. The two different worlds in front of him were also constantly shattering. What a powerful sword! The pupils of the good and evil statue constricted. One of the good ones rushed over and blocked in front of him. If I don't enter hell, who will? With a boom, countless cracks appeared on his body, and then he turned into nothingness. Taking advantage of this opportunity, the evil brat fled to the other side. His face was cold, and his eyes flickered. Beside him, the virtuous sun reformed, and the gaze on it became somewhat dim. Brat, you actually dared to injure my foundation. How despicable! However, you won't be able to kill me. I'll let you see the power I've gained over the years. With an angry roar, the surroundings became dark again. At the same time, countless star-like lights lit up and enveloped the entire ancestral hall. Every ray of light turned into a terrifying rune. Lin Xian furrowed his brows tightly as he sensed a vast and terrifying energy that resembled the starry sky of the universe. He felt like he was about to collapse. What is this? He was astonished. He had never seen such power before. Up ahead, the good and evil statue sneered. This was the power of sacrifice. For so many tens of thousands of years, I have been receiving the sacrifices of the twins of destiny here every year. Every year, they would display top-notch treasures of heaven and earth. Then he would kneel 3 times and cow down 9 times to me. In their eyes, I'm their god, their ancestor. Therefore, they are willing to worship me and constantly absorb the power of these treasures of heaven and earth. They also absorb the power of worship in their eyes. After accumulating for countless years, this is an extremely terrifying power. I can use it to sweep through everything. What do you have to fight me? After saying that, he snorted coldly, and the star-like runes around him bloomed with light. A vast amount of power surged out. Lin Xian kept retreating, spitting out large mouthfuls of blood. Cracks appeared on his body in an instant, and golden dragon blood appeared. His face was pale. Was he injured? He was shocked with his physique. This power was indeed terrifying to be able to injure him in an instant. Brat, did you see that? You can't compete with me at all. The good and evil statue waved his hand again. The power erupted, and Lin Xian's body was blasted into pieces. Ha ha! The good and evil statue laughed proudly. Lin Xian's broken body quickly retreated and reformed in the distance. A battle armor appeared on his body. It was an illusion that enveloped him. On it, there was an extremely terrifying life force, the immortal, indestructible battle armor. Lin Xian's broken body recovered, but his expression was somewhat cold. This power was indeed very strong. However, he was extremely happy. Such a terrifying power was even stronger than the power of 10 worlds. This really surprised me. It seems that this is an unexpected gain. I have to thank you all. He was really too happy. Originally, he only came to find the power of yin and yang, to strengthen the Taiji diagram. Now, that he had so much power, if he could obtain this power, then the sword world would undergo earth-shattering changes. How could he not be happy? On the opposite side, the good and evil statue was stunned. You thank me, could it be that you want this vast power? What a joke! Do you know what you're talking about? Only I can control this power. You can't do anything in front of him. Go to hell. It seemed that the good and evil statue was really angry. The entire ancestral hall shook violently. The star runes between heaven and earth flickered, and the terrifying killing intent rose to the extreme. Then, each star rune formed a sort of slaughter. Millions of blades completely shattered the entire void. The immortal, indestructible battle armor on Lin Xian's body instantly shattered, and cracks appeared on his body again. Too powerful. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't be able to resist at all. Even he had to use his super powerful trump card. With a cold snort, he used the heaven-devouring jar. An endless vortex appeared and enveloped him. It devoured the surrounding star swords. Useless kid, you can't devour them no matter how strong you are. I have endless power. The good and evil statue sneered. If you die, your Yin and Yang Taiji will be mine. He rushed over with an unstoppable force, like a hot knife through butter. Even the devouring vortex couldn't completely devour the power on his body. In an instant, he arrived in front of Lin Xian and stretched out his hands. On the left, he grabbed Lin Xian's shoulder, while on the right, he grabbed Lin Xian's head. It was all over. As long as he used a little more strength, the young man in front of him would be torn apart. Sensing this terrifying aura, Lin Xian didn't dodge at all. Instead, he smiled. You're still smiling when you're about to die. Stupid thing. The good and evil statue snorted. However, he had a bad feeling in his heart. What's going on? Normally, even top experts would be terrified when they met him. What's going on with him smiling? Does he really have some kind of trump card? With a cold snort, he exerted strength in his arms and a terrifying power enveloped Lin Xian. However, in the next moment, he found that his surroundings were spinning. He was no longer in his ancestral hall. Instead, he was in another world. Chapter 51:19. Kid, do you think it'll be enough if you spread out your domain and envelop me in it? You're too naive. Your saint domain can't do anything to me. The good and evil statue snorted coldly when he noticed the drastic change in his surroundings. Watch me shatter your saint domain. He slapped out with his saint palm. This palm was incomparably vast and could shatter the 9 heavens and 10 earths. However, after he slapped out, the entire world didn't even have a gust of wind. It was terrifyingly quiet. What's going on? He was stunned. Fantasy, this must be an illusion. Shatter. He attacked again. It was as if the holy world and the hell world attacked together. They kept bombarding. However, it didn't shatter at all. This time, the good and evil statue really collapsed. What kind of world is this? Won't it shatter? One had to know that his full-powered attack just now was enough to shatter a world of stars into pieces. However, that wasn't the case at all. However, it didn't move at all. What kind of place is this? His face was cold as he stared ahead. He shouted coldly, Kid, where did you teleport me to? This is my world, and I welcome you to come. Lin Xian said with a smile. Your world? What kind of joke is this? You have such a mysterious star world. He felt that this was even more mysterious than the buried Emperor star. Hurry up and leave this place, the evil sun said. The good sun nodded. They soared into the sky, and the light that erupted from their bodies seemed to tear the 9 heavens apart. However, they were in despair. No matter how they attacked the surroundings, there were no cracks at all. They couldn't get out. At this moment, a sneer came from afar. Don't waste your energy. This place is not something you can imagine. Come over obediently and become our battle servants. Be our underlings. If you're lucky, you can still live. Damn it, who is it? How dare you challenge me? The good and evil statue turned around. The next moment, they saw a valley talking. This valley was formed by 4 spirit veins, and there were many stars flickering around it. What astonishing power! There were many spiritual herbs in the valley. They were all natural treasures. He rushed over. The spirit beasts of the 4 spirit valley roared. Damn it! Big guy, come and help us. At this moment, a hand grabbed the sky and covered the earth. The good and evil statue was sent flying, and a terrifying roar sounded. The good and evil statue was sent flying, and cracks appeared on its body. Shatter and reassemble. They roared madly. Was there a peerless expert here? In the next moment, they saw a fire dragon appear. That fire dragon was burning with the flames of hell. It was the Hellfire Dragon. This seems to be the totem of the twins of destiny. The Hellfire Dragon flew over and said coldly, Brat, why did you bring them here? This guy's life was very tough. It was very difficult to kill him. Xian said, You know them? The Hellfire Dragon nodded. The Destiny Gemini race was very famous. Back then, a great emperor almost appeared. How could I not recognize him? The most troublesome thing about them is that they can't be killed. That's why I hate them. Brat, hurry up and let us go. Otherwise, you're dead. The good and evil statue roared. Lin Xian sneered. Others might not be able to kill them, but I can. He walked forward. At the same time, a dragon-shaped sword shadow appeared in front of him. It was the invincible great dragon sword soul. Hell Dragon, hold them down. I want to finish them off with a single strike. This time, Lin Xian guaranteed that there would be no time difference. Damn it. What kind of sword is this? Feeling this aura, the good and evil statue roared crazily. He felt danger. Run. They split up and ran. The Hellfire Dragon held the evil one down, but the evil one was not afraid. As long as the good one could escape, he could revive. The good one ran far away. Lin Xian did not chase. The Hellfire Dragon did not chase. Instead, he sneered. Stupid thing. There are some places in this world that even I don't dare to go. He dares to go to those barren areas? The evil one still did not understand what was going on. He thought there was hope to escape, but soon he realized that the good one ran back. He seemed to be very frightened. What's going on? What's going on in this world? Why do I feel frightened? He was really crazy. The evil one roared. Why did you come back? Hurry up and run. Otherwise, we will definitely die. The good one was frightened. I can't go forward. If I go, I might not be able to come back. What's wrong with this world? The evil one was shocked. What's going on? The Hellfire Dragon snorted. Stupid thing. You still don't recognize me? Seems like you're just clones. Since that's the case, don't blame me for being impolite. As he spoke, he reached out his hand again. He grabbed forward and suppressed the good one. Then he put the 2 in front of Lin Xian. Kid, you can deal with them. Also, this is a great merit of mine. Lin Xian smiled. Don't worry, I'll let you out in advance. But the Hellfire Dragon shook his head. No, I don't want to go out. I want to stay here forever. Lin Xian was shocked. Didn't you want to go out? Humph. I was just not convinced. This world is where everyone dreams of entering. Now that I'm here, how can I go out? Lin Xian was shocked. What kind of world is this? Even an existence like the Hellfire Dragon wanted to come in. The good one and the evil one were shocked too. They exclaimed, could it be that world? The Hellfire Dragon slapped the 2 of them, causing them to crack and shut their mouths. Kid, hurry up and do it. Although I can suppress them, I'm just a remnant soul. I can't hold on for long. If you let their real bodies come, it'll be dangerous. Lin Xian nodded. He put the 2 side by side. Lin Xian waved the great dragon sword soul. This time he split the 2 apart. The indestructible power made the good one and the evil one unable to recover. Lin Xian waved his hand and summoned the Tai Chi diagram. It kept spinning. The good one and the evil one broke down. They roared crazily. The great dragon sword was indestructible. Although they were strong, there were things that could restrain them. Facing an extreme weapon, it was hard for them to fight. Other than that, there was an indestructible great dragon sword. It could also destroy their souls. They didn't expect this kid to have it. They wanted to escape, but it was too late. Their broken bodies turned into pure law power and merged into the Tai Chi diagram. The Tai Chi diagram kept spinning. It became more and more terrifying. Lin Xian's Tai Chi incantation also felt the strong power. Black and white aura surrounded him. At this moment, he was like Kun Pengzi. How would it compare to Kun Pengzi's yin yang law? Lin Xian clenched his fist. He felt that it was not enough. He thought of something. He released Yunyue's good one, an evil one from the heaven-swallowing jar. He let the hellfire dragon help again. He split the two apart. Then the power of the two was swallowed by the Tai Chi diagram. The Tai Chi diagram rose again. After Lin Xian used it, he was overjoyed. He had another powerful technique. Chapter 51:20. The Fate Clan was even more terrifying. Everyone's hearts had been heavy these days, because there had been an oppressive aura coming from the ancestral hall. They didn't dare to be careless. On this day, a crazy roar came from the ancestral hall, overturning the 9 heavens. Countless palaces and pavilions in the Fate Clan were destroyed. Hundreds of black cracks were left in the sky. Each crack was tens of millions of miles long, dancing like a black dragon. This scene was too terrifying. It was as if the world was about to be destroyed. Countless people looked up at the sky. They knelt on the ground and kept kowtowing. The Fate Clan leader also rushed out. What's going on? Why is the ancestor angry again? He hurriedly rushed in. Then he was suppressed by an invisible force. He even knelt on the ground. Ancestor, who angered you? He asked in horror. Damn it, my doppelganger Dharma idol has been destroyed. What? How is this possible? Hearing this, the Fate Clan leader was completely stunned. The previous avatar was only an avatar planted in Yunyue's body. It wasn't that powerful. However, the avatar was different. There were only a total of 4 avatars, and they were given to the 4 elders. The avatar was too powerful. No one could subdue it. Now that the avatar had fallen, he felt like he was dreaming. This was impossible. Which elder was it? The Fate Clan leader exclaimed. The evil good ancestor said coldly. It was the residence of the 8th elder. The avatar there was destroyed. The Fate Clan leader stood up and said, Don't worry, ancestor. I'll deal with it now. I'll send countless experts there. After he came out, he gathered a group of experts and said, Go to the 8th elder's residence. There was a problem there. Bring the enemy over. A group of experts rushed into the sky. The others were also shocked. Who was it? The 8th elder's residence was destroyed. The enemy was too powerful and too arrogant. Some people guessed that it could be the Phoenix clan or the Tianpeng clan. In this Yuhan continent, they couldn't think of how many clans dared to be so arrogant. Buzz. At this moment, a stream of light flew over from afar. Who was it? Everyone shouted angrily. Elder Zhang said, Don't move. It's one of us. They saw that the person who descended was a broken figure. It was the 8th elder. They exclaimed. The Fate Clan leader also walked up and looked ahead. His expression became extremely ugly. At this moment, the 8th elder was in an extremely miserable state. Old 8, what's wrong? Who beat you up like this? Your mansion has been destroyed. Who was it? Was he from the Phoenix clan, or was he from another clan? He didn't know. He only knew that he was a young man with heaven-defying strength. What? A young man. The surrounding people were stunned. They had thought of countless possibilities. However, he had never thought that his opponent would be a young man. Was there anyone else other than him? Could it be that there were no veteran experts? The eighth elder said that there were two other demonic beasts, but their strength was not as strong as that young man. Don't you know who he is? The eighth elder said that he was very powerful. His sword technique was very strong and had an indestructible power. Moreover, he had the aura of the Tao of Dragon on him. The dragon image it created was so terrifying that it almost froze my blood. The aura of the Tao of Dragons. Everyone exclaimed. The Destiny clan leader frowned. Could it be the Dragon Prince? Among the young experts of the Dragon clan, there was only one Dragon Prince who was so terrifying. The eighth elder shook his head. I have seen the portrait of the Dragon Prince. It was definitely not him. Then who was it? Everyone was puzzled. Apart from the Dragon Prince, there was such a terrifying existence in the Dragon clan. Why didn't they know? Forget it. No matter who he was, his strength was limited, no matter how strong he was. We must catch him. There was a possibility that he had something extraordinary on him. The eighth elder gritted his teeth and said, Don't worry. Although I was defeated, my avatar would not be defeated. The Destiny clan leader said, Unfortunately, the avatar was destroyed. We are sending people to suppress him. What? The eighth elder exclaimed. Even the ancestor's avatar was defeated? He was stunned. He knew the avatar's strength very well. Suppressing him would be a piece of cake. However, it was destroyed now. How did the other party do it? Was the other party's strength so terrifying? At the same time, his heart was bleeding. This was because a large portion of its power had been suppressed by the Avatar Dharma idol. Otherwise, he would have the strength of a saint. How could he be defeated by the other party? Now that the Avatar was defeated, he was afraid that part of his cultivation strength was gone. Would he never be able to become a saint in this lifetime? The eighth elder was about to go crazy. Clan leader, I have to go back too. That kid is too strange. I might be able to help. The eighth elder ignored his injuries and wanted to go back. He just wanted to regain the cultivation that he had lost. These people quickly moved out. At the same time, the eighth elder's residence was completely destroyed. The people around all went crazy. They felt that the ancestor statue that they had been worshipping had disappeared. Even Yunyu, who was collecting resources, was stunned. The ancestor's aura was gone. How was this possible? To be honest, he knew that Lin Xian was terrifying. However, he did not expect that he could destroy the ancestor's avatar in such a short time. It seemed that he had to hurry up, because it would not be long before the clan headquarters sent a peerless expert to suppress them. Lin Xian was still in the ancestral hall. After the good and evil avatar was destroyed, there was still endless power in the surroundings. Those were the power that the eighth elder's lineage had been worshipping for a long time. It was really too huge. Previously, Lin Xian was torn apart by this power. Now, these powers were ownerless. He snorted and opened the sword world, using the swallowing heaven jar to devour these powers. Then, he entered the sword world. Damn, this kid has so much power. The Hell Fire Dragon was shocked. The 4 spirit beasts of the 4 Spirit Valley also exclaimed. This power was really too shocking. Indeed, this power was equivalent to the power of several worlds. At this moment, it was already able to affect the sword world in a certain area. Previously, the sword world only recovered from the 4 Spirit Valley. With the addition of the Life Spirit Spring, it was different now. Within a radius of 100 miles, there was a certain degree of recovery. This made Lin Xian happy. He sat down cross-legged and recovered his exhausted strength. Lin Xian walked out of the sword world. At the same time, he waved his hand and split the entire ancestral hall into 2. The surrounding people were so scared that they knelt on the ground. Was the ancestral hall that they usually worshipped also broken? These people roared crazily. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Noisy. With a wave of his hand, the Taiji diagram appeared, and the yin and yang sword light pierced through these people. These people were terrified. What kind of power was this? Why did it feel so similar to their power? There was the powerful holy power of light, and also the terrifying power of darkness. In an instant, the surrounding people were all destroyed and turned into a bloody mist. Chapter 51:21. Young master, at this time, Yunyue also walked over. She looked around expressionlessly. Lin Xian said, "Let's go to the next place with clones." Yunyue was surprised. She still had some resources to collect. However, she did not dare to resist and could only quickly agree. "Yes, young master." He rose into the air and flew into the distance. Lin Xian waved his hand and summoned Little White, the toad, and the crimson dragon. They also soared into the sky. He came to the front and grabbed Yunyue's shoulder. "Show me the way. You're too slow." After saying that, a pair of black wings appeared behind him. They flapped gently and tore through the 9 heavens. Yunyue was stunned. She felt a huge force that wanted to tear her body apart. In the next moment, she found a force coming from the palm on her shoulder, forming a barrier to protect her. Looking at the scene on both sides, Yunyue could not believe it. What kind of speed was this? It was several times faster than her limit. This made her even more shocked by Lin Xian. Even if the Fate clan found him and wanted to kill him, with his speed, it was not a problem for him to escape successfully. Finally, they arrived at the place where another doppelganger Dharma Laksana was located. This time, it was the place where the third elder was. Who was it? The third elder's residence also shouted angrily. Lin Xian did not say anything. He waved his hand, and a battle broke out. On the other side, a group of powerhouses descended from the sky in the 8th elder's residence. Seal the area. With a roar, endless barriers appeared around them. Countless powerhouses scattered in all directions. They sealed the entire territory. The 8th elder also came. Her face was pale as she looked down and gritted her teeth. "Kid, get out here." There was no response. He shouted angrily, "Search." Those powerhouses quickly went down to search. Soon, they came back. There was no one but the elder. Damn it. Did he let that brat escape? Damn it. The 8th elder did not believe it and personally searched. He found that it was true. There was no one here. More importantly, the resources they had left behind had also disappeared. Damn it, chase him. He can't have escaped far. This is our territory. I don't believe that he can escape. These people began to chase and attack from all directions. A few days later, the third elder's residence was in ruins. The third elder didn't escape this time. He was slashed to the point that his heart and soul were completely destroyed. Even at the moment of his death, he could not believe that a young man could be so terrifying. The clone technique of the third elder's mansion was also brought into the sword world by Lin Xian. Then Lin Xian and the Hellfire Dragon attacked together, suppressing and killing it. The power obtained from the sacrifice was all absorbed by the sword world. The power of yin and yang that the Dharma Laksana avatar possessed was absorbed by Lin Xian's Taiji diagram. Lin Xian felt that his Tai Chi diagram had improved once again, which made him happy. His yin-yang law had become even more terrifying than before. Lin Xian clenched his fists. He had a feeling that he might be able to break through to the great sage level. He had to get his hands on the remaining 2 Dharma Laksana avatars. Perhaps he could use this opportunity to break through and become a great sage. Everyone in the Fate clan was waiting for news. The Fate clan leader's eyes flickered. Was there still no news from the eighth elder? A few days had passed. However, he wasn't worried. He had brought enough people with him this time. If he met that kid, he would definitely not be able to escape. However, at this moment, a roar came from the ancestral hall again. The whole world shattered again. The people of the Fate clan had all gone crazy. What could make the ancestor so crazy? The Fate clan leader's face changed drastically. Could it be that something happened to the eighth elder again? He was so scared that he quickly entered the ancestral hall and knelt on the ground. The ancestor roared crazily. Damn it, my second Dharma Laksana avatar was destroyed. This time, it was the third elder's residence. What are you doing? Do you want me to change the clan leader? The Fate clan leader was stunned after hearing this. Impossible, he exclaimed. I have already sent countless experts there. Damn it, did that kid attack the third elder's mansion again? Could it be that his target is the Dharma Laksana avatar? Thinking of this possibility, he was shocked. No one had ever dared to be so bold. Quick, inform the eighth elder and the others to go to the third elder's territory and kill him. At the same time, inform the remaining 12th elder and the 15th elder to fight with all their strength. When the 12th elder received the news, his face became extremely ugly. It was too late. He realized that the young man mentioned by the clan leader was already in front of him. Lin Xian attacked fiercely. Previously, he had obtained the endless power of the sacrifice, so he didn't hold back anymore. Now that the sword world had become stronger, he could use the power of the heaven-devouring jar and the great dragon sword spirit. This time, in order to end the battle quickly, he quickly used the great dragon sword spirit and the heaven-devouring jar. Therefore, this battle ended very quickly. After devouring the third Dharma Laksana avatar, he obtained the power of the sacrifice again. Lin Xian soared into the sky and left quickly, heading to the 15th elder's residence. Damn it, the 8th elder and the others went crazy when they came. This method is too fast. They were already chasing with all their strength, but the 12th elder's residence was still destroyed. No, I have to hurry to the 15th elder's residence. This time, we are closer. These people quickly attacked. Finally, they arrived at the 15th elder's residence. The 15th elder was also facing a great enemy. Previously, he had received news that someone wanted to collect the Dharma Laksana avatar, which made him unable to believe it. However, when he discovered that the 2 Dharma Laksana avatar had been destroyed, he was completely stunned. It seemed that he was indeed in danger. So, she quickly took defensive measures. Countless array formations flickered, and all the experts were mobilized by him. In the next few days, he discovered that the 8th elder and the others had also arrived, and they had brought along a powerful force. Countless experts of the Destiny race arrived, blotting out the sky. The 15th elder heaved a sigh of relief. Great, he smiled in relief. With this force, there was absolutely no danger. In the sky, a stream of light streaked across the sky. It was unbelievably fast. It was Lin Xian who was flying. Yunhua said, "Young master, our actions here must have alerted the headquarters of the family. The 12th elder had received the news. The 15th elder was even more on guard. Perhaps the family had already mobilized endless power to form an inescapable net there. What do you want to say?" Lin Xian glanced at her. Yunhua took a deep breath and said carefully, "Young master, 3 Dharma Laksana avatar are enough. Why do you have to take the risk?" Indeed, in her opinion, this was a very unwise choice. However, Lin Xian shook his head. "You don't understand. The Dragon Prince, Kun Pengzi, and I are all competing for time. Whoever enters the Supreme Sage Realm first will have an absolute advantage. Now that I have absorbed the power of 3 Dharma Laksana avatar, I am only one step away from the Supreme Sage realm. As long as I can get the fourth Dharma Laksana avatar, I can enter the Supreme Sage realm in the shortest time possible. At that time, I can fight the Dragon Prince to the death. Chapter 51:22. Yunyu was shocked. She did not expect Lin Xian to want to fight the Dragon Prince to the death. It seemed that Lin Xian's ambition was far beyond her imagination. She knew that she could not persuade him. She could only tell him to be careful. In the 15th Elder's mansion, a group of experts were waiting there. They had set up a trap. Someone frowned and said, "Do you think that kid will come? I think he might not come. After all, he is not a fool. He has 3 Dharma body avatar. He must know that we will set up a trap on the 4th Dharma body avatar. He will not walk into the trap again." The others nodded. That was true. That was indeed the case. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't take such a risk. The 8th Elder gritted his teeth. Damn it, they were about to give up. Just then, a stream of light flashed from afar. Then, a sword light fell from the sky and slashed the array. The entire array shook violently. The majestic palaces in the mansion were shattered into pieces. What happened? Countless people in the palace were shocked. Some people were cut into blood mist. Some people rushed to the sky and roared. The faces of the 8th Elder and the other experts who had rushed over changed, and then they were overjoyed. He's here. That brat is here. What? The 15th Elder and the others were stunned. Lin Xian really dared to come. This was simply too audacious. They looked up to the sky to see what the other party looked like. In the next moment, they saw a man descending from the sky. This man was extraordinary. Sword chi filled the sky as if he was a sword god. He stood in the void and stomped his feet. The entire 15th Elder's mansion shook violently. The endless void shattered. The people below vomited blood. So strong. Those who were injured were in despair. What kind of aura was this? It felt like a young emperor. The 15th Elder and the others were shocked. A young supreme emperor. The 8th Elder gritted his teeth. Damn you, it's really you. He would not forget that Lin Xian was the one who severely injured him. Lin Xian looked down and said coldly, "It was indeed a trap. But so what? Kneel on the ground and wait for me to deal with you. I can give you a quick death." Lin Xian looked down like a god from the heavens. What an arrogant brat. The 8th Elder humphed coldly. "This time we have 10 times more people than before. You will die without a doubt." The 15th Elder also shouted angrily, "8th brother, why are you wasting time with him? Just attack. Someone activate the formation." Formations flickered between heaven and earth. 36 killing formations were activated, covering the sky and covering the earth as they enveloped Lin Xian. Outside the mansion, the Crimson Dragon, Toad, and Yunua looked at this scene. Lin Xian knew that this battle would be extremely dangerous, so he didn't let these people follow him. Yunyu was shocked. Lin Gongzi wouldn't be in danger, right? The Crimson Dragon laughed. "Don't worry, he has a lot of trump cards." They weren't very worried. Instead, they were preparing to collect the spoils of war. When the time came, the 36 killing arrays in front of him exploded, and terrifying light beams swept across the 9 heavens. The terrifying aura caused the world to collapse. "Let's see how you die this time." Some people snorted coldly. Inside the formation, Lin Xian's body was violently impacted. He roared angrily, and the 9 yang divine body shone brightly. 9 suns flew out, and the aura that erupted illuminated the world. Those suns turned into terrifying flames that swept in all directions. The surrounding killing arrays were ignited and quickly burned into ashes. Then Lin Xian stretched out a palm and grabbed towards the sky. With a palm, he tore an array into pieces. At the same time, a terrifying sword aura flickered on his body, piercing through the 9 heavens. The surrounding formations continued to shatter, and the smiles on the faces of the others also disappeared. How is this possible? He's so powerful, especially the people near the 15th elder. They thought that this was a sure kill, but now they were doubtful. The killing arrays in the sky were shattering, and Lin Xian walked out like a sword god. The sword aura on his body swept in all directions. The surrounding people were shocked. Damn it. The 15th elder was shocked. He shouted angrily, "Kill him!" The people that the 8th elder brought with him also rushed over and quickly attacked. In an instant, divine abilities that blotted out the sky and covered the earth were shot out. Some of the terrifying auras were like holy spirits. Some of them were as terrifying as hell. "Kill!" Lin Xian also shouted angrily. A Tai Chi diagram appeared in front of him and kept spinning. The yin-yang sword flew out, and a terrifying aura swept through the 9 heavens. The powerhouses in front were instantly pierced, and some were split in half. The others were also terrified. Damn it, the power of yin and yang. He actually knew this kind of power. The people of the Twin of Destiny clan went crazy. This kind of power was extremely similar to their good and evil twins. Moreover, the other party's sword, aura, was even more terrifying. It was invincible, causing them to feel a huge injury. In an instant, many people in the 15th elder's mansion died. The 15th elder's eyes were red. Those below the Supreme Sage Realm retreat. Those above the Supreme Sage Realm gather together. He realized that the Saint Kings were useless in front of the other party. Only those above the Supreme Sage Realm working together would have a chance. Those below the Supreme Sage Realm quickly retreated, wanting to leave this battlefield. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Don't you think it's too late to leave now?" He waved his hand, and a sword soared into the sky. At the same time, he shouted angrily, "Rosalong, seal this place for me." Outside, the Crimson Dragon heard this voice and said, "Don't worry, leave it to me." He formed a seal with his palm and used the ancient scripture. The spiritual veins in the 15th elder's mansion were mobilized by him, forming a cage that enveloped heaven and earth. Those arrays were also constantly shattering. What's going on? Our array has no power. Impossible. The 15th elder went crazy. They chose the mansion because there were so many spiritual veins underground. There were even dragon veins. How could there be no power? But now, these powers were all used by the Crimson Dragon, forming a powerful seal that blocked everyone. Those who tried to escape were all blocked and sent flying back, their chi and blood surging. "Elder Zhang, this is bad. We can't escape at all. The entire mansion has been sealed." They were terrified. The 5th elder's expression turned ugly. "All of you, retreat far away. Everyone else kill." He soared into the sky and charged forward. The 8th elder and the others also attacked. The 1st elder's eyes erupted with a cold light. The good and evil twins appeared behind him. It was extremely terrifying. Lin Xian sneered. "Just because you lost to him, he threw out a punch." There was an extremely terrifying flame on it, causing the evil twin to burn. The 8th elder roared angrily and shot out a divine light to block the 9 suns' divine fire. However, it was instantly engulfed by the demonic energy released by Lin Xian. The 8th elder screamed, his eyes filled with fear. "Come and help me." This time he didn't come alone. Suddenly, the 5 experts rushed over and charged towards Lin Xian together. The 8th elder revealed a sinister smile. "Let's see how you'll die." Chapter 51:23. The 5 experts were extremely terrifying. When they joined forces, they could destroy everything. Lin Xian's demonic energy instantly shattered, and the 9 suns' divine fire was also extinguished. "Go to hell." The 5 experts' expressions were cold. Lin Xian formed a seal with his palms, and the demon summoning scripture in his body quickly circulated. A demonic shadow appeared behind him. The demonic shadow used the demon god seal and blasted forward. The 5 experts were instantly enveloped, and the black seal was like a mountain that could destroy heaven and earth. One fell. The 5 experts' souls were destroyed, and they turned into a bloody mist. The 8th elder was terrified. How was this possible? The 5 experts' strength was on par with his. When the 5 of them attacked, the power was more than 5 times his. Now, they were killed in one blow. Could it be that this kid didn't use his full strength when fighting with him? He was completely stunned. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He waved his hand and slapped the 8th elder away. The 8th elder screamed. Half of his body was shattered. Lin Xian used the power of the divine body and didn't use the demonic shadow behind him. Otherwise, the other party's soul would have been destroyed by this blow. "Kill him for me," he shouted angrily again. In the distance, more figures came. Lin Xian grabbed the 8th elder and tore him into pieces with a wave of his arm. The 8th elder's soul screamed and wanted to escape. The good and evil children were guarding him. Lin Xian's eyes burst with golden light, and the terrifying reincarnation fire flew out. Suffer endless reincarnation for 10,000 years. 10,000 years in a glance. The 8th elder's soul screamed crazily. He entered an illusion. Lin Xian used the power of the great dragon sword soul to kill the good and evil children. "Damn it, how dare you!" The people in the distance roared crazily and charged over. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Get lost!" He used the demon god seal in his left hand and the 6 paths fist in his right. He attacked with both hands, and a terrifying aura blasted the people in front of him away. Those people vomited blood. Damn it, the 15th elder also rushed over with people. A great battle broke out in an instant. The sky was filled with laws and a terrifying divine aura, terrifying demonic radiance, but it was useless. Lin Xian was too strong. He fought against everything by himself. In addition, he had many divine abilities, great emperor's divine abilities, and great emperor's ancient scriptures. Shadowless heaven's net, appearing and disappearing unpredictably. Azura's sword art, instantly killing experts. The 6 Dao fists pressed forward courageously. The demon god seal was incomparably powerful. Every time it attacked, Lin Xian would be able to kill a powerhouse. In fact, with a single strike, more than a dozen experts were reduced to a bloody mist. The surrounding people went crazy. Was the other party already so powerful? Damn it! Using the sacred weapon of legacy. These people shouted furiously. The earth split open and a black sickle emerged. The members of the Fate clan quickly gathered. The good and evil phantoms in their bodies quickly appeared, forming an evil child and a grim reaper. The scythe in his hand was a saint artifact that was a legendary saint artifact, and it was extremely powerful. He broke the 6 Dao fists with a single strike. Lin Xian was also knocked back, a crack appearing on his arm. In the sky, a scream was heard as the 8th elder's soul was shattered into pieces. Damn it! The powerhouses of the Fate clan shouted angrily. The 8th elder was dead. Avenge the 8th elder. They took out another saint artifact. It was also a legendary saint artifact that they brought from their clan's headquarters. The Scepter of Light. A walking stick that seemed to be made of gold with the purest radiance on it. It was enveloped by the good and evil child phantoms. A drop of it fell, purifying everything. Lin Xian felt as if these auras were going to make him ascend. He felt as if his body was about to split open. "Kid, how are you going to resist?" The 15th elder was furious. His eyes were filled with madness. To be able to force them to use 2 legendary saint artifacts, the other party should be proud. Legendary saint artifact? So what? Lin Xian sneered. He was injured, but he was still fearless. The immortality art was activated. A common life armor surrounded him and healed his injuries. With a wave of his right hand, the Hellfire Dragon sword appeared. It carried a monstrous flame and terrifying sword chi. With a slash, he blocked the death sickle. A deafening sound was heard, and the surroundings were constantly destroyed. Damn it, this kid also has a legendary saint artifact. When they saw the Hellfire Dragon sword, these people roared crazily. The 15th Elder roared. It was fine. The Holy Scepter would purify his hell aura. The Holy Scepter pressed down and hit the Hellfire Dragon sword. The Hellfire Dragon sword roared crazily. Damn it, you want to bully me? Just you wait. Kid, hurry up and take out your other weapon. The Hellfire Dragon sword. They knew that Lin Xian had more than one weapon. He even had the heaven-swallowing jar. When the time came, they would kill these bastards. Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, he held the Great Destruction Spear in his left hand. The demonic aura on it was monstrous. The ancient scripture of Earth was constantly activated. With a strike, it was like the finger of a demon god carrying a destructive aura. Boom, boom. The scepter of light was forced back. The experts of the Destiny clan below were also vomiting blood. Their arms were cracked. How was this possible? They looked at the Great Destruction Spear in front of them in disbelief. The other party actually had another weapon, and it was also a legendary holy weapon. Damn it, the other party had 2 legendary holy weapons. What kind of foundation was this? Who exactly was this kid? This kid is not even a great sage. I don't believe that he can use 2 legendary holy weapons with his full strength. Kill him. We have the advantage of strength. The 15th Elder roared crazily. The virtuous sun's phantom in the sky stood tall. The evil sun's phantom was extremely terrifying. They activated 2 legendary holy weapons and fought with it. Lin Xian held the holy weapon in his hand and opened and closed it. The laws surrounded his body. Demonic energy overflowed into the sky, as if a demon god had descended. It was really too terrifying. Competing with him in strength, these people were purely courting death. He had the sword world, and he had devoured the power of so many sacrifices. It could be said that he was not afraid of anything now. The 2 legendary holy weapons exploded, causing the Scepter of Light and the Death Scythe to continuously retreat. The blood of the people below was boiling, and their faces were pale. At this point, they were all in despair. Another strike. The Scepter of Light was sent flying. Many of the people below turned into a bloody mist. Some were broken, some were seriously injured. On the other side, the Death Scythe also kept retreating. Everyone was crazy. Could they not do anything to the other party? Lin Xian walked over like a demon god. I'll send you on your way. The great spear of destruction bombarded. Dozens of experts were instantly pierced, and their souls were destroyed. The Hellfire Dragon's sword slashed down. The invincible power, along with the powerful flames, caused dozens of people to disappear into thin air. No, the Destiny clan's elder roared crazily. One of the 15th Elder's arms disappeared. Half of his body was shattered. At this moment, he said in horror. He quickly retreated into the ancestral hall. They were crazy. They could not compete with the other party in terms of foundation. Now, they could only seek the help of the Avatar Dharma idol. The Avatar Dharma idol was very strange. The ancestral hall was also specially built. Therefore, the Avatar Dharma idol could only stay inside. Otherwise, the Avatar Dharma idol would have come out and easily suppressed the other party. Chapter 51:24. The remaining people all entered the pond. In the distance, the warriors below, the Supreme Sage had already knelt on the ground when they saw this scene. What kind of scene was this? It was like the end of the world. They couldn't resist at all. Some of them were even hit by some laws and sword chi. Their souls were destroyed. Lin Xian waved his hand, and the terrifying 9 suns' divine fire turned into a sun and flew in all directions. As a result, all of the people before the great sage were burned to ash. Then he raised his head and looked at the ancestral hall in front of him. The corners of his mouth curled up in disdain as he walked forward. When he arrived at the entrance of the ancestral hall, he sneered. "Do you think you can survive by hiding in there? You're too naive. Today, not only you but this avatar will also die." When the people in the ancestral hall heard this, they were all shocked. Then their faces turned cold. They didn't say anything. After the other party came in, they would let him know what despair was. They would torture him to death. Lin Xian held the Great Destruction Spear in his hand and walked in with the Hellfire Dragon Sword. After entering, the door of the ancestral hall was instantly closed. The surroundings were dark. A group of terrifying roars could be heard. "Kid, you dare to kill so many of our experts. I'll let you know what despair is. Stupid thing. Who do you think you are? You think you can compete with our ancestors' avatar? Go to hell. I'll break all the bones in your body and destroy your soul. I'll let you know that you regret coming to this world." The surrounding ferocious voices could be heard. Countless terrifying gazes flickered. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and his body bloomed with light. Like a huge sun, it illuminated the world. It wasn't his first time in this ancestral hall, so he wasn't afraid at all. "With just you?" Lin Xian looked around and sneered. "A group of ants. Damn it, the surrounding people were mad. Which one of them wasn't a top expert, an elder of the older generation? But at this moment, in front of the other party, they didn't resist at all. They gritted their teeth. "Kid, so what if you're a young supreme being? So what if you're a young emperor? Here we're kings. Ancestor, please." They quickly bowed. A statue appeared in front of him. It was the statue of good and evil, and it was still as mysterious as ever. The virtuous sun statue also stared at Lin Xian. "You're the one who dares to cause trouble? Go to hell." A black palm blossomed with radiance, and the laws on it were frightening. Lin Xian coldly shouted and similarly punched out. The 6 Tao fists shattered the heavens and earth as they collided with each other. A sonorous sound rang out as Lin Xian took 3 steps back. The evil sun's terrifying palm was also repelled. Everyone was shocked. Was this guy able to contend against the Grand Elder's Dharma idol with just his physique? Even the good and evil statue was shocked. He had some ability. No wonder they could fight their way here. Lin Xian laughed. "You're just SOL. I've already absorbed all 3 of your transcendence forms. You're no exception. Just give up." His eyes were filled with confidence. "Damn it," the doppelganger shouted angrily. He also knew about this matter. Was it this brat in front of him? He roared angrily and gave me the 2 inherited saint weapons. He held the scepter of light and the scythe of death in his hand. He said, "Here, I can restore these 2 saint weapons with all my might and let them display their true strength. Can you resist it?" The surrounding people also laughed. "Ha ha ha ha, stupid brat. Our Grand Elder's Dharma idol is much stronger than ours. Now, I'll let you see what a true inherited saint weapon is." The doppelganger was also angry. He activated the inherited saint weapon with all his might. He was powerful to begin with, and this ancestral hall contained the power obtained from endless sacrifices. At this moment, he unleashed endless power. Those laws were like seawater that blotted out the sky and covered the earth. At this moment, the surrounding 15th Elder and the other members of the Twin of Destiny clan also knelt on the ground. They couldn't withstand his power at all. Although their scalps were numb, they were happy in their hearts. Great, such power could definitely kill the other party. That brat was dead for sure. It was over. The doppelganger's arm fell. The scepter of light and the scythe of death erupted together, engulfing Lin Xian. In front of him, a black hole was formed, as if the world was being split apart. It was over. Everyone else also raised their heads. Their eyes were filled with excitement, as expected of the Grand Elder. Just the doppelganger's Dharma idol could easily kill a young supreme. So what if he was a genius? Even if he was a crown prince, he would still be in danger of dying before he fully matured. This young man was too arrogant. He deserved to die this time. Cold laughter rang out one after another, and the doppelganger's Dharma idol also retracted his hand. How dare you challenge me? I'll kill you without mercy. Is that so? You're just SOL. You're still far from being able to kill me. Amidst the laughter, a voice rang out. The surrounding people were stunned after hearing it. How could it be? They couldn't believe their ears. Who was speaking? The doppelganger's Dharma idol also roared. You're really stupid. Can't you recognize my voice? Lin Xian sneered. It's you. You're not dead? That's impossible. 15th Elder. And the others were going crazy. The doppelganger's eyes also burst out with a terrifying light. Its black and white eyes pierced through the black hole in front of it, shattering the void. They saw a black vortex that kept spinning. A figure walked out of the vortex. It was Lin Xian. You're really not dead. The doppelganger's Dharma idol also roared angrily. Was that the full-strength attack of the legendary sacred weapon just now? How could the other party dodge it? Lin Xian snorted coldly. He stretched out his hand, and there was a black jar in his palm. So, what if your legendary sacred weapon? I've already said that you won't be able to withstand a single blow from me. Seeing the black jar, the surrounding people were terrified again. The aura coming from it was too terrifying, and their bodies were on the verge of shattering. Their souls were about to be extinguished. Even the light on the two legendary sacred weapons dimmed. They seemed to be trembling. Damn it! The doppelganger's Dharma idol roared angrily. Could it be an extreme weapon? He sensed a trace of fear from it. Lin Xian's lips curled up. That's right. You're right. It's an extreme weapon. What? Everyone went crazy. Their eyes widened in disbelief. The other party actually had an extreme weapon? One had to know that this was the weapon of a Tharch. Only the Tharch race had it. Other than that, it was rare to hear of a Thearka's weapon. But now the other party actually had an extreme weapon in his hand. Was he really a disciple? Damn it, the doppelganger's Dharma idol also roared angrily. With a roar, the power of the surrounding priests quickly burned. It seemed that he was going to go all out. So, what if you have an extreme weapon? You can't unleash its true power. If you die, this extreme weapon will be mine. He was really too happy. With his strength, if he could obtain this extreme weapon, then from then on, who in the world would be a match for him? Chapter 51:25. Ignorant Ants. Lin Xian snorted coldly. The black vortex became more and more terrifying, as if it could swallow the heavens and the earth. The Dharma idol doppelganger's expression changed when it sensed the devouring power. He knew that the extreme weapon was very terrifying, so he couldn't be careless. He had to deal with it with all his might. Thinking of this, he roared and formed a seal with his palms. Suddenly, the bodies of the Destiny clan's powerhouses that came in split open. Their bloodlines quickly burned and rushed out of their bodies. The good and evil phantoms. They floated between heaven and earth. No, ancestor, you can't treat us like this. These powerhouses roared crazily. They felt despair. They knew that this was the ancestor absorbing their power, and they might be destroyed in body and soul. You live to provide me with power. Now that I'm in danger, you should give me your power. The avatar shouted coldly. The great sages that came in were all burned and turned into a bloody mist. Between heaven and earth, one after another, the good and evil phantoms kept dancing. But these people had long ceased to exist. When they were dying, they were still filled with despair. This was the ancestor that they had worshipped for their entire lives. He actually harvested their lives just like that. With this power, the Avatar's strength became even stronger. He charged towards the devouring vortex from all directions. "Kid, die for me." With an angry roar, a large area of the void in front of him shattered. This attack was indeed powerful to the extreme. Lin Xian snorted coldly and used the devouring vortex to the extreme. The heaven-swallowing jar rushed forward. In the next moment, the entire world was devoured. When he appeared again, the Avatar roared and rushed into the sky. However, he found that the surrounding scene had changed greatly. It was no longer his ancestors' ancestral hall. Instead, it had become another place. The primordial world was strange. Where was this? Did you think that you could suppress me in another place? Unfortunately, he was also suppressed in the end. When the Hellfire Dragon flew out, Lin Xian used the power of the Sword World and summoned the great Dragon Sword Soul. The Avatar's face was filled with despair. He wanted to escape, but it was too late. In the end, his soul was also destroyed. The remaining sacrificial power was absorbed by Sword World, the power of good, and evil was once again absorbed by Lin Xian using the Taiji diagram. He could feel that the power in his body had reached a pinnacle. Was he about to break through? Lin Xian took a deep breath. He suppressed the power of the breakthrough and quickly left. The 15th Elder's residence outside had long been destroyed. Lin Xian summoned the Crimson Dragon and ordered them to clean up the battlefield as quickly as possible. Then he would bring him away. He was about to break through. Really? The Dark Dragon was overjoyed when he heard this. There wasn't much time left until the coronation ceremony. Lin Xian was about to break through and become the champion of the championship. Even among those princes, this was considered extremely fast. He might even be the first to break through. In this way, his strength would surpass the other princes. Then he would be able to make a move on the Dragon Prince. The Crimson Dragon gritted his teeth. He would never forget that the outstanding genius of Long Hai, Long Guang, had died in the hands of the other party. This hatred must be avenged. He collected all the storage rings of these people. Yunyue was also frantically collecting other resources. Lin Xian said, "Let's go." They soared into the sky and quickly disappeared. The Fate Clan. Everyone was waiting for the ancestral hall. The good and evil statue roared crazily again. Damn it. At this moment, he was really angry. All 4 of his clones had been destroyed. This was something that he couldn't tolerate, and it was also something that he couldn't believe. When the Fate Clan found out about this, they were also incomparably shocked. How was this possible? Those elders roared crazily. The Fate Clan leader was also stunned. The people they sent out this time could definitely sweep through everything. They even brought 2 legendary sacred weapons. Even if the mansion was destroyed, the last Avatar Dharma idol would definitely not be destroyed. But now, things were beyond their expectations. So many powerhouses had all fallen. When they saw the Soul Jade tablet shatter, they also went crazy. No one came back alive. Countless elders, powerhouses, geniuses, and the 4 clones. All of them had fallen. The entire Fate Clan was shocked. Who was it? Was it a crown prince who brought the peerless powerhouses of the Great Emperor's clan? I think it's possible that he used an extreme weapon. Voices of discussion could be heard one after another. In their opinion, this was the only way to do it. Otherwise, it was impossible for a young man to do this. This news couldn't be hidden at all. After all, many people had already paid attention to the destruction of the 4 great elders' residences. Then the news spread everywhere. And finally, the entire Yuhun continent knew about it. They were incomparably shocked. The Fate Twins were a top clan of the ancients in the Yuhun continent. They were not weaker than the Tianping clan at all. In fact, in terms of vitality, they were even stronger than the Tianpeng clan, because they were existences that were almost immortal. As long as the good and evil twins weren't killed in an instant, they wouldn't perish. But now, they were all dead. Countless elders had all fallen, their corpses piled up like mountains, and a sea of blood gathered. It turned into hell, a scene of destruction. Heavens, who did it? Was it the Phoenix clan? Countless voices of discussion sounded. When the Phoenix clan heard the news, they immediately came out to clarify. It wasn't our Phoenix clan. They also didn't want to offend the Fate twins, for no reason. The Tianpeng clan also said that it wasn't the Tianpeng clan who did it. The other top families also voiced their opinions one after another. For a moment, everyone was shocked. Those who could have done it were all denied. Then who was it? Was it a strong dragon from another continent? But a strong dragon couldn't suppress a snake in its old haunts. What kind of iron plate did the Fate twins kick? It couldn't be the Dragon clan, right? I guess it might be the Kuanpeng clan. Kuanpeng, Z cultivated the yin-yang law, and his power was very similar to the Fate twins. So, they had a reason to do it. Voices of discussion could be heard one after another. Everyone was guessing. Even the Phoenix clan and the Tianpeng clan were investigating the news. The Phoenix clan leader shook his head. It couldn't be Kuanpeng Z. If he wanted to do it, he wouldn't do it like this. An elder at the side also took a deep breath. That's right. If Kuanpeng Z wanted to do it, he would have done it to the Fate clan's headquarters. He would even be like the Dragon Prince, using the power of an extreme weapon to unleash a shocking attack. He would get what he wanted at all costs. This was the method of the Emperor clan. And now, the enemy had only destroyed 4 elder mansions and obtained 4 Dharma idols. They didn't do anything to the headquarters. This was completely different from the methods of the Emperor clan. Then who was it? They didn't know. Do you think it could be that kid? Suddenly, they thought of a person, a young man who had just left their Phoenix clan not long ago. Are you talking about that Lin Xian? Someone exclaimed. No way, no matter how strong he was, even if he was an emperor's son. So what? Could he have done all this by himself? Even if he could kill those elders, what about the Avatar Dharma idols? As long as there was a glimmer of hope, it couldn't be destroyed. Even if it was suppressed, it couldn't die. How could he do it? Chapter 51:26. The people of the Fate clan investigated even more frantically. They had to know who the enemy was. Several emperor clans and princes were denied by them. Who was it? At this moment, an elder sent a message. Not long ago, Crown King Lin Wudi came. He fought with the top genius of the Tianpeng clan, Bailey Wuk. Victory. Moreover, he and Morong Qingcheng were Dao companions. He was once a guest of the Phoenix clan, but then he disappeared. There was no trace of him anymore. Are you saying that Lin Wudi was the one who did this? That's impossible. The people of the Fate clan didn't believe it. Nothing is impossible. I've investigated before and received news. Not only did Lin Wudi defeat Bailey Wuk, but he also injured the Dragon Prince on the day of the coronation. It was said that the Dragon Prince used the 10,000 dragons diagram, and Lin Wudi also had an extreme weapon. Therefore, it was possible that he did it. Moreover, Lin Wudi was under a lot of pressure. He urgently needed to break through to become a supreme sage, because his enemy was the Dragon Prince. Compared to the other princes, his foundation could be said to be the weakest. Without a great emperor clan to rely on, he had to obtain all the resources himself. Therefore, he attacked the Avatar Dharma idol to obtain resources. Damn it, was it really him? When the powerhouses of the Fate clan heard this analysis, they all gritted their teeth. The eyes of the Fate clan leader also burst out with intense light. If he had an extreme weapon, he could really do it. Damn it, go and investigate Lin Wudi's whereabouts. As long as he's in the Yuhun continent, we must find him and bring him here. I want to let him know the consequences of offending us. Everyone began to move. The others also began to guess. Was it Lin Wuti who did it? The Tianpeng clan's Bailey Wuck received all kinds of news. Was it really him? Was this guy already so terrifying? Patriarch Bailey said. He should have borrowed half an extreme-grade weapon, the heaven-swallowing jar. This is beyond his own strength. We don't need to pay too much attention to it. Although we don't have an extreme weapon, our Tianpeng clan's sacred weapon is not weak either. Besides, he can't use its full power, so we still have a chance of winning. The Phoenix clan's princess, Fengju, narrowed her eyes. The devouring heaven jar? That was interesting. Go and ask Sister Qingcheng if her husband Lin Wuti did it. Murong Qingcheng was shocked when he heard the news. She felt that it was very likely to be Lin Xian, but she shook her head at Fengju's doubts. He expressed that he didn't know. The Fate ancestor snorted coldly and said, "Activate the Fate judgment." The Destiny clan's clan chief was astonished. Was the old ancestor going to use that kind of power? She was surprised. The patriarch snorted coldly. Yes, bring him back alive. I still want the heaven-swallowing jar. His eyes shone with a terrifying light. Now that he had an extreme-grade weapon, he could begin the next step of his plan. Yes, the Fate clan leader was about to ask the Adjudicator for help. This was a secret power of the Gemini of Destiny. These people had cultivated terrifying divine abilities. Normally, they would have a super strong foundation. These people would only be mobilized when the Fate clan was under great threat. They would represent Fate and punish their enemies. That was why it was called the Judgment of Fate. Wait, the Patriarch said in a deep voice. The Destiny clan leader spoke respectfully. Ancestor, what other matters do you have? The old ancestor said, if I remember correctly, your son is already 3,000 years old. Yes, the Destiny clan leader nodded obediently. Yun Hai was already 3,000 years old, and he was only one step away from becoming a saint. Speaking of this, there was a hint of pride in his eyes. He was a son. He would inherit his position in the future and bring glory to the Fate clan. Let Yun Hai come over. I will accept him as my personal disciple and pass on the twin soul to him. Is that true? The Destiny clan leader suddenly raised his head with a hint of excitement in his eyes. He knelt down and kowtowed respectfully. Thank you, Patriarch. It was an honor to be accepted as a disciple by the Patriarch. Even he wasn't qualified. And the twin soul was an extremely terrifying divine ability. This time, the Patriarch had personally established a certain connection, which was equivalent to forming an avatar. And it could be moved. The avatar's previous 4 avatars could only stay in the ancestral hall and couldn't take a single step out. This had a huge limitation. This was also the reason why they were destroyed, because there was no way to escape. But now, if the twin soul was implanted, then his son Yun Hai's strength wouldn't be weaker than the avatar. His future achievements would be unparalleled. There was even hope for him to surpass the Saint Realm and reach an even more incredible realm. Thinking of this, his eyes turned red. Patriarch, don't worry. I will call Yun Hai over. The Patriarch slowly closed his eyes and began to wait patiently. He knew that Lin Wuti couldn't escape as long as he was still on Yuhun continent. He would have a chance to suppress him. After the Destiny clan leader came out, he gave the order and began to mobilize countless people. At the same time, he summoned the Grand Elder and asked him to activate the Destiny Adjudication. The Grand Elder was shocked. Was he really going to use that power? The Destiny clan leader nodded and then gave a token to the Grand Elder. This is my clan chief's token. Take it and personally handle this matter. What about you, Patriarch? The Grand Elder was shocked. Other than the Patriarch, there were no more than 3 elders who knew about the power of the Destiny Adjudication. But now, the Patriarch didn't do it personally. The Destiny Clan leader said that he had more important things to do and that he would leave this matter to the Grand Elder. The Grand Elder took a deep breath. The Patriarch was relieved. He took the Patriarch token and quickly flew into the depths of the clan. As for the Destiny Clan leader, he flew in another direction. The Destiny Clan was extremely powerful, and the land they occupied was too vast. It was boundless. There was a mountain range in it. There were 2 dragon veins. The dragon veins formed by the yin-yang dragon were abnormally terrifying. It could be said that it was a holy land for cultivation. There was a figure sitting cross-legged in the mountain range. This man's hair was half black and half white. He looked extremely strange. The aura on his body was also extremely terrifying. At this moment, he opened his eyes and pierced through heaven and earth. Who was it? He stood up, and the sky split in half. A large crack appeared in the distance. It's me. The Destiny Clan leader flew over from afar. Father, it's you? The man retracted his power and said in confusion, "What happened?" He was the son of the Patriarch, Yunhai, 3,000 years old. He was very close to becoming a saint. He had been cultivating in this holy land, so he didn't know what was happening outside. The Destiny Clan leader told him, "What happened?" Yunhai was furious after hearing it. "You're saying that someone dared to attack the Destiny Clan? And Yunyue dared to betray the clan." An extremely cold killing intent appeared in his eyes. Chapter 51:27. Yunyue was nothing to be afraid of. The most important thing was Lin Wudi. He was the crown prince, and his talent was no weaker than the crown prince. More importantly, he had half an extreme grade weapon, the devouring heaven jar. He was very difficult to deal with. Only by suppressing him could the danger be resolved. "Father, do you want me to go?" Yunhai said, "No problem. Give me a sacred weapon, and I will suppress it." Although the other party was young and had half a devouring heaven jar, he was not afraid, because he was much older than the young man, and he was only 1 step away from the late stage of the Supreme Saint realm. Therefore, his strength was also very terrifying. With a sacred weapon, he could sweep through everything. The Destiny Clan leader shook his head. Yunhai frowned. "Father, don't you believe me?" How can I not believe you? But don't be in a hurry to make a move. The Patriarch wants to see you. He wants to accept you as his personal disciple." "Really?" Yunhai's body trembled, and a flash of light appeared in his eyes. "Father, is that really the case? Don't be fooled by his previous arrogance." When he heard this news, he was as excited as a child. "That's right. I'm here to take you to see the Patriarch. Come with me." The 2 of them soared into the sky and turned into streams of light. On the other side, a huge canyon appeared on the endless land. The first elder waved the badge in his hand. The array around the canyon disappeared, and a passage appeared. He walked down until he reached the bottom of the canyon. Below him was a series of underground palaces, surrounded by countless flickering array formations. "Who is it?" "Stop." A voice sounded. Lightning fell from the sky, blocking the Grand Elder's path. At the same time, 4 black figures appeared around him. 4 black figures with extremely terrifying light. The Grand Elder stood there, his body cold. He felt a fatal threat. As long as he moved, these 4 people could tear him to pieces. He was shocked. As expected of the Judgment Clan, they were too terrifying. These people could control the fate of others. He stood there and said, "I'm the Grand Elder. I'm here on the orders of the Patriarch. This is the Patriarch's token." As he spoke, he waved the token in his hand. The eyes of the 4 people around him flashed. Why didn't the Patriarch come? The Great Elder said that the Patriarch has something more important to discuss. This time, our Fate Clan is in danger. The 4 Dharma idols have been destroyed. The Patriarch is furious and is about to activate you. The token is correct. Come in. The four figures slowly disappeared. The door to the underground palace slowly opened, and the first elder walked in. He discovered that it was like heaven on earth, and there was a throne inside. There was a woman sitting on it. This woman wore a holy battle robe and held a heavenly book in her hand. There was a scepter in his right hand. She also had white wings on her back. Untainted by even a speck of dust, he looked like a deity. He sat on the throne. When the woman saw the first elder walking over, she raised her head and asked in a deep voice, "What is it?" The great elder recounted what had happened. The woman closed the heavenly book in her hand and stood up. An extremely cold radiance appeared in his eyes. "Assemble." As soon as the order was given, many figures rushed out from the surrounding underground palace. They all came to the front of the main hall and stood there with cold expressions. The patriarch had ordered that Lin Wuti be suppressed. With a wave of her hand, the wings on her back unfurled. She tore the world apart and soared into the sky. 100 powerhouses also followed. These people disappeared into the void like gods and demons. The first elder was shocked. 100 adjudicator powerhouses were now moving out. It was an invincible force. It seemed that a huge storm was about to set off in the Yuhun continent. Lin Wuti was definitely going to die this time. A day later, the mansion of the 15 elders was in ruins. There were many figures there, flickering. They were the sage martial artists of the Yuhun continent who came here to look for opportunities. After all, there were countless powerhouses here before. Perhaps there were storage rings and all kinds of treasures left behind. Even some of the broken weapons were endless treasures to them, so they came here to look for treasures. At this moment, a cold force appeared and sealed off the surroundings. In the sky, a pair of white wings covered the sky. A woman wearing golden sacred armor, holding a heavenly book and a golden scepter, descended from the sky. She stood in midair and looked down like a god. Where was Lin Wuti? The people who were looking for treasures below were stunned. It was so beautiful. Was an angel descending? They were shocked. Some people were puzzled. Who was Lin Wuti? They had never heard of him. Are you stupid? He was the person who defeated Flawless Bailey. Oh, you mean the genius who was crowned king in the sacred city. Why was he here? A man walked out with a folding fan in his hand. Lin Wuti was not here. How should I address you? I am Iron Fan Saint. Can we be friends? Such a beautiful woman was very rare. If he could get her, it would be great. Thinking of this, he laughed. In the sky, the woman in golden armor lowered her gaze and waved her hand. A law descended and enveloped Iron Fan Saint. Iron Fan Saint screamed miserably. Countless cracks appeared on his body, and even his soul was being torn apart. That look was terrifying. The woman in the sky said coldly, "Punishment." With a boom, Iron Fan Saint was torn into pieces, and his soul was destroyed. The surrounding people were shocked and kept retreating. Who was this person? Iron Fan Saint was also an expert among the sages, but now he was killed by the other party's voice. It was unbelievable. Where was Lin Wuti? The woman in the sky spoke again. The surrounding people were terrified. Some people were angry. Lin Wuti was not here. Go find him somewhere else. The woman in golden armor's eyes were piercingly cold. This was the territory of the Twins of Destiny. Even if it was destroyed, it was not a place where you could come. You trespassed into the territory of the Twins of Destiny. Your crimes are punishable by death. Punishment. A cold voice sounded, and endless black figures appeared in the surroundings. They brought with them a biting cold, killing intent, as if they were the messengers of hell, covering the sky and earth. In an instant, many people were torn into pieces. Screams rang out. Run. The others were terrified and wanted to escape. A great battle broke out in an instant. In less than half an hour, the hundreds of sages who came to search for treasures were all killed. Blood dyed the 9 heavens red. The other 100 black-robed figures stood there, blood dripping from their bodies. Erect a monument, seal it, and warn the world. No one is allowed to set foot in it. The woman in golden armor said coldly. The surrounding 100 mysterious experts used the bones of the dead sages to erect a heavenly monument. They used their sage blood to form a barrier that enveloped 15 old Zhang's mansions and warned the world. Those who crossed the line would be killed without mercy. The twins of destiny were not to be challenged. Chapter 51:28. It wasn't just the 15th elder's residence, the 8th elder's residence, as well as the other 2 residences with avatars. They killed those who sought treasures there and set up a monument as a warning. For a moment, the world was in an uproar. Who was so terrifying? Could it be that this was the legendary power? Someone exclaimed. Others asked and were puzzled. An old man from the Tianpeng race said in a deep voice, the Destiny Twins had an extremely hidden power called the Destiny Judgment. It was said that they existed for the purpose of punishment. Whoever dared to provoke the Destiny Twins would be punished. This group of people was very similar. They should be the Destiny Judgment. They were here to punish. Lin Wuti was finished. This group of people's strength was terrifying to the extreme. They were cold and would definitely not show any mercy. As soon as these words were said, the entire Yuheng continent was stunned. It seemed that the Destiny Twins were completely enraged. They even used such a mysterious power. Lin Wuti was definitely going to die. For a moment, a storm was brewing. Everywhere was talking about this matter. After the Phoenix race and Murong Qingcheng received the news, they were also very nervous. They wondered if Lin Xian was in danger. It was just that they couldn't contact him now. At this moment, Lin Xian began to go into seclusion after obtaining the power of the 4 avatars. He found a cave in the mountain range and hid in it. Then he set up a formation. After that, he entered the sword world and cultivated inside. He wanted to break through to the great sage realm as soon as possible. Lin Xian was in seclusion. The outside world was getting more and more terrifying, especially the Destiny Judgment. They were dominating everywhere. The strength they displayed terrified countless people. Probably no one could resist this power. The matter here was known by people from other families and sections. Even the Yaoguang continent and Saint Distant City knew about it. In Saint Distant City, countless people were talking about it. Did you know? Something shocking happened in the Yuheng continent. The twin of Destiny clan was attacked by someone, and the residences of several core elders were destroyed. Even the 4 avatars were destroyed. Heavens, I've heard of this family. This is a very terrifying ancient race. Legend had it that as long as one of the good and evil twins was still alive, it would be an immortal existence. It was extremely difficult to kill them. Who was it that was so terrifying? The people of the 3 major orthodoxies and the clan of the ancients were very excited. Who else could it be? I got the news that it was Lin Wuti. What? Lin Wuti? Invincible Lin of Dao. Why did he go to Yuheng Road? How did they become enemies with the Twins of Destiny? Countless people cried out in alarm. The people of Saint Origin City were completely dumbfounded. Lin Wuti was a godlike existence here. One had to know that he was a top-notch genius who had been crowned as a king. He was also a supreme youth. He was someone who was very likely to become a great emperor. However, after he was crowned, he disappeared and hid himself. At first, many people thought that Lin Wuti was hiding because he was afraid of the 10,000 Dragon Court. Who would have thought that the other party had already left the ancient city and headed to the Alioth continent? Furthermore, in the Jade Horizontal Continent, he did not keep a low profile at all. He directly challenged the Twins of Destiny. Not only that, have you heard? Lin Wuti had also set off a storm in the ancient Jade Continent. It was said that his Dao companion was a genius of the Phoenix race. At the same time, Bailey Wuck was also pursuing this woman. Lin Wuti and Bailey Wuck had a huge battle. Are you talking about the #1 genius of the Tianping race? He had the combat strength of a disciple. He was known as the uncrowned king. Countless people thought highly of him. Yes, that's right, it was him. However, no matter how strong he was still defeated by Lin Xian. Heavens, Lin Wuti was too strong. He had actually defeated another young powerhouse. There were probably not many people who could suppress him now. The Dragon Prince was injured by him, and now Bailey Wuck was defeated by him. It was said that the genius of the Twins of Destiny, Yunyu, was also defeated by him. These were 3 young powerhouses. Who knew how many more miracles this guy would create? Countless people were discussing. The people of the Tao immediately became agitated. They cheered wildly. Did you see that? These were the geniuses of their Tao. Especially those from the Divine Union, they were even more excited. They raised their heads proudly. Lin Xian was their boss. Even if he was in other places, he would still be able to defeat everyone. He was definitely someone who could become a great emperor. The people from the Dragon Palace gritted their teeth when they heard the news. The Blue Race, the Golden Crow Race, and the Thousand Dragon Dynasty were so angry that they vomited blood. Damn it, this guy actually went to other places to defeat everyone. He even created such a battle record. Could it be that he had become even stronger than before? The people from the Dragon Sea race were also collecting information. Soon, they snorted. Lin Wuti was dead meat. Why did they say that? There were other doubts. The powerhouse from the Dragon Sea race said that he had offended the Twins of Destiny. Do you think the Twins of Destiny will let him go? We have already found out that the Twins of Destiny have mobilized a top mysterious force. Destiny adjudication will punish Lin Wuti. Lin Wuti would definitely not be able to escape death. What was Destiny adjudication? Many people were puzzled. Soon, some information about Destiny adjudication appeared. The number of times they appeared was very few. They appeared once 2,000 years ago, and again 5,000 years ago. Those 2 times, there were extremely terrifying peerless powerhouses, and even several sects and clans joined forces to challenge the Twins of Destiny. This caused the Twins of Destiny to be injured. In the end, when Destiny adjudication appeared, whether it was the peerless powerhouses or the joint forces of the top clans, they were all destroyed. No one could escape. They were all killed by Destiny adjudication. Their souls were suppressed in the 18 levels of hell. God, this Destiny adjudication was so terrifying. Absolutely apart from the Emperor race, Destiny adjudication would sweep through everything. No matter how strong Lin Wuti was, could he resist it? For a moment, everyone was shocked. Many people were ready to see a joke. If Lin Wuti fell, it would be an earth-shattering event. There was also a lot of discussion on the side. The people from the Divine Union were worried. The people from the Dragon Palace sneered. They wanted to see how he would die. Bai Susu was the first to speak. Some people were really naive. Lin Wuti was an existence who had an extreme weapon. So, what if Destiny adjudication was strong? Didn't you think that Lin Wuti was dangerous? Didn't he kill strong enemies time and time again? Just wait and see. Lin Wuti will definitely kill Destiny adjudication this time. The people from the Divine Union came out one after another to support Lin Xian. Even the Dugu clan, Nalan clan, Fire Dragon clan, and others supported him. The news spread all over the ancient city. The patriarchs and grand elders of the older generation were also discussing with each other. They were also paying special attention to this battle. After all, Lin Xian was a crown king, a youth paragon. His life and death were related to the battle on the road to becoming a great emperor. Chapter 51:29. Heaven Sect. In Yi Wudao's residence. Leaf Daodenier stood there, his brow furrowed. He looked at the information in his hand, his eyes flashing. is destiny adjudication really so terrifying? There were a few elders of the Yi clan standing beside him. They said that it was extremely terrifying. Destiny adjudication is very mysterious. It has only appeared twice in the past 6,000 years, but we still got some information. There are 100 of them. The leader is wearing a golden saint robe, like an angel, with an incomparably holy radiance. The remaining 99 people are wearing black robes with a hellish aura. These people's strength is unfathomable. They should be at least in the middle stage of the great saint realm. The leader is very likely to be a sage. More importantly, they have good and evil phantoms. As long as they are not killed in an instant, they are immortal. Moreover, their bloodlines are connected, and they can summon even more terrifying existences. So, unless it is someone at the peak of the great saint realm, even a sage will die without a doubt. After hearing this, Yu Wudao frowned. This is not good news. The Yi family elders sighed. Yes, Lin Wudi is strong, but he is only a sage king after all. Although he is a top genius with a trump card, he can fight above his level. But I am afraid he is still unable to compete with a true sage. And destiny adjudication is an existence that even a sage can't compete with. More importantly, that little guy shouldn't know anything about destiny's adjudication. So if he is careless, he will be in danger. Leaf Daodenier clenched his fists and looked off into the distance. He wondered if Lin Xian would be able to withstand it this time. This is a great calamity for Lin Xian. Yuheng continent, in a primitive mountain range. Demon beasts are constantly roaring. There are dangers everywhere in the forest. In a cave behind a waterfall, there is a mysterious array flickering. At this moment, a figure flew quickly and landed beside the waterfall. The array exploded, but the figure said, "It's me." The crimson dragon flew out and said, "You are back. Come in." The person who came back is none other than Yunyu. And this is the place where the crimson dragon and the others are resting. After Yunyu came in, her expression was incomparably solemn. "What about Lin Gongzi? I need to see him. He was cultivating when the toad jumped over. He had no time to see you. If you have something to say, tell us." Yunyu shook her head. It was an extremely important matter, so she had to tell him personally. The Crimson Dragon said, "Then wait, at least until tomorrow." He began to transmit his voice through the formation. Inside the sword world, an extremely terrifying black and white aura appeared on Lin Xian's body. The laws of yin and yang on it were enough to sweep away everything. His cultivation had also become stronger than before. He sat cross-legged in the Four-Spirit Valley and continuously absorbed the laws of yin and yang. There was also an endless supply of power for him. At this moment, the formation beside him flickered, and a voice sounded. Lin Xian slowly opened his eyes. His gaze contained a mysterious power. The next moment, he frowned slightly and walked outside. This was a message from the Crimson Dragon. Previously, he had said not to disturb him unless it was something very important. The fact that Zhang Xian had sent him a telepathic message meant that something important had happened. He walked out. "What's going on?" Lin Xian asked after he came out. "Lin Gongzi, you're finally out?" Yunyu walked forward. Lin Xian was surprised. "Oh, you're back again." When they left earlier, they separated from Yunyu. After all, their paths were different, and they were not afraid of Yunyu betraying them. After all, the Destiny clan would definitely not forgive the other party after such a thing happened. But what was going on with the other party now? "Lin Gongzi, something bad has happened. The Destiny Adjudicator has been dispatched." Destiny Adjudicator? What is that? Is it very powerful? Yunyu's expression was extremely solemn. He said that the Destiny Adjudicator was an extremely mysterious power of our Destiny Gemini clan. They had specially prepared it for punishment. Once this power was used, even a sage would die, without a doubt. Other than those at the peak of the great sage realm who could escape, no one else could. Even a sage was going to die? The Crimson Dragon exclaimed. The toad could also jump up. It was so powerful. Could it be that a peak of the great sage realm was dispatched? A peak of the great sage realm stood at the top of the sage realm. Such a person was also an ancestor-level existence in the clan of the ancients. They wouldn't be dispatched easily, right? If it was really such an existence, then they would probably have to leave this place immediately. Yunyu said, it was not a peak of the great sage realm. The Destiny Adjudicator was composed of 100 people, including the holy angels and 99 hunters. They were enough to destroy a sage. It turned out that it was not a peak of the great sage realm. The Crimson Dragon and the others heaved a sigh of relief, but their expressions were still extremely solemn. According to Yunyu, this was simply a group of killing gods. Lin Xian said, "It's fine. The Yuheng continent was incomparably vast. Let's leave this place and go to another place to hide. They probably won't be able to find it at all. Wait for me to break through and become a great sage. At that time, I don't care what Destiny Adjudicator you are. You can't do anything to me either." Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with an extremely terrifying light. Next, they secretly moved and left this mountain range. They went to a more distant place and completely lived in seclusion. Lin Xian did not come out at all in the sword world. He cultivated with all his strength. Outside, the Destiny Adjudicator was frantically searching, but they were crazy. The Yuheng continent was boundlessly vast. If a person really wanted to hide, they would not be able to find him if he hid for 10 years. Unless they used some extremely mysterious power, such as deducing the secrets of the heavens. But they did not know that kind of power. So they asked their family for help. The Destiny clan leader personally invited an extremely terrifying expert to deduce the secrets of the heavens. This time, they were really crazy. They paid a huge price to invite an expert from the Heavenly Dao Valley, the Nine Fingers Saint, the Heavenly Dao who could deduce the secrets of the heavens. But the price to invite them was also very high. This time, the Destiny Gemini clan was really going all out. The arrival of the Nine Fingers Saint caused the Destiny Gemini clan to be incomparably excited. With such an expert, even a peak great sage would not be able to hide. Everyone was looking forward to it. The Nine Fingers Saint had 9 fingers. His palm was constantly forming seals. Around him, endless runes of the heavens appeared. In front of him was a tortoise shell. It was very huge and engraved with patterns. At this moment, those patterns were constantly interweaving. The Nine Fingers Saint deduced for 3 days and 3 nights. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and flew out. He spat out a mouthful of old blood. No, his hair instantly turned white, as if he had aged hundreds of years. The others were stunned. The Destiny clan leader's expression changed drastically. "What's going on?" He hurriedly went up and shouted angrily, "Quickly bring out the healing panacea." The Nine Fingers Saint's body trembled. His eyes were filled with fear. This person was not in this world. What did he mean? Everyone else was stunned. The great elder brought out 2 treasure boxes. The patriarch opened them. There were extremely precious spiritual medicines inside. The Destiny clan leader took out a section and gave it to the Nine Fingers Saint to swallow. Then he asked, "Can you explain in detail?" Chapter 51:30. After Nine Fingers Saint swallowed the elixir, his complexion recovered slightly. The hearts of the other Fate race members were bleeding. This elixir could definitely bring the dead back to life. Evil Good Ancestor would definitely kill him. He had to get news of him at all costs. Only one person took a deep breath and said, "I checked, and he isn't in Jade, Horizontal Continent." The Grand Elder gritted his teeth. Damn it, did that kid return to Holy Abyss Ancient City? However, Nine Fingers Saint shook his head. No, you don't understand. Not only is he not in Jade Horizontal Continent, he isn't in Jade Horizontal Continent either. He isn't in Holy Abyss Ancient City either. He isn't in Buried Emperor Star. What? He isn't in Buried Emperor Star? Fate Race clan leader was stunned. How long has it been? He has already left the Star World? How do we find him? There are countless star worlds in the universe. He needs to find a place to hide. That would be troublesome. Even if he hides at the end of the world, I can still deduce his location. But the space he is in is very mysterious. I forcefully tried to deduce his location, but I was punished by the heavens. That's why I got injured. Heavenly punishment. Everyone was even more shocked. Nine Fingers Saint came from Heavenly Dao Valley. How could he be punished by the heavens? There was only one explanation. That is, the place he is in isn't simple. It's impossible to deduce his location. Did he return to the Phoenix race? Fate Race clan leader frowned. The Phoenix race is an emperor race. They might be able to hide from the heavens. Even if it's an emperor race, I can still deduce his location. Unless he used an extreme grade weapon or entered the core of the formation, he wouldn't be able to do so. I don't think he can enter with his identity. I'm leaving. Nine Fingers Saint shook his head and left the Fate Race. The Fate Race members sighed. Even Nine Fingers Saint couldn't deduce his location. Damn it, who can find that kid? Would they not be able to take revenge for this? Father, I'll go. Yun Hai transmitted his voice. Fate Race clan leader was stunned. Aren't you accepting the inheritance? Yun Hai said, it will be done soon. At that time, I will challenge him. Isn't he Lin Wudi, the Crown King? Since he has a supreme identity, I should be able to challenge him. If he doesn't dare to come, he would lose all his face. That would be considered revenge. Okay. The Fate clan leader's eyes shone with a cold light. His son was already very close to becoming a saint, and with the old ancestor's inheritance, his son's strength would advance by leaps and bounds. No matter how strong the other party was, he was no match for his son. When the time came, they would openly challenge him. His opponent was the champion of the championship. If he did not dare to accept the challenge, his reputation would be completely ruined. This was even worse than killing the other party. Cold smiles appeared on their faces. Soon, the Fate clan sent out another message. This message was sent to the entire Yuhan continent. The young master of the Destiny Gemini clan, Yun Hai, wanted to challenge the One Crown Wang Lin Wudi. The time was set to be 1 month later. As soon as the news came out, countless people were in an uproar. Lin Wudi had no choice but to accept the challenge. Otherwise, his reputation would be completely ruined. From now on, he was no longer fit to be the young wisdom sovereign. Voices of discussion rang out one after another. The Heavenly Rock Race's flawless 100 miles snorted coldly when he heard the news. This move was truly vicious. Lin Wudi did not accept the challenge, and his reputation was ruined. If Lin Wudi accepted the challenge, he would not be able to escape and would die without a doubt. It could be said that whether he advanced or retreated, it would not benefit Lin Xian at all. Do you think he will accept the challenge? Voices of discussion rang out one after another. I guess he won't, someone said. However, there were also people who shook their heads. No, he will definitely come. You don't know how important honor is to him, especially someone like him who wants to reach the top of the path to becoming a great emperor. He will definitely not miss the stop. Otherwise, his Tao heart will be damaged and his cultivation will stagnate in the future. Then he will definitely die if he comes. Even if he defeats Yun Hai, the Destiny clan will set up an inescapable net to kill him. This was a scene of certain death. Voices of discussion rang out. Murong Qingqing's expression changed when he heard the news. Damn the Destiny clan. The Destiny clan is too despicable. Others were also discussing. Lin Xian had also received the news. The Crimson Dragon and Yun Yu had been secretly investigating. When they heard the news, their brows furrowed tightly. The Cloud Immortal Palace asked if they should tell Lin Gongzi. The Crimson Dragon gritted his teeth. After thinking for a long time, he said, "Tell him. After all, this is his challenge." As for the decision, it was up to him. The Crimson Dragon told Lin Xian the news. Lin Xian also frowned after hearing it. A battle to the death in a month. He sneered. Who does Yun Hai think he is? Is he worthy of fighting with me? Spread the news and tell the world that not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry can challenge me. If you want to challenge me, you have to see if you have the qualifications first. Lin Xian continued to cultivate in seclusion. The Crimson Dragon sneered when he heard the news. Soon he spread the news. For a moment, the world was in an uproar. God, Lin Wudi responded. Do you know? Of course, Lin Wudi responded domineeringly. Who does Yun Hai think he is? Is he worthy of fighting with me? He also said that not just anyone can challenge him. Isn't this a slap to the face of the twins of destiny? However, someone said, I think he's right. Lin Wudi has the identity of a crown prince. His status is so noble. You don't have the identity and strength of an emperor. You don't have the qualifications to challenge him. Yes, that's right. Lin Wudi wasn't even afraid of an emperor, let alone a young patriarch. For a moment, many people supported Lin Xian. There was no choice. Previously, Lin Xian and Bailey Wuck fought and displayed today's strength. Indeed, many people were convinced. Many young geniuses idolized Lin Xian. After hearing this, the twins of destiny were so angry that they almost vomited blood. Is their young patriarch a nobody? Not qualified to challenge him? Damn it! After hearing this, Yun Hai's eyes bloomed with extremely cold, killing intent. Is the other party looking down on me? Saying that I'm not qualified? Okay, then I'll give him the qualifications. Yun Hai stood out. Previously, when he was chasing Lin Wudi, he had already entered the ancestral hall and accepted the twin souls. At this moment, the bloodline in his body had become even more terrifying. It had even reached the ancestral bloodline. His strength had become even stronger than before. As long as he accepted a lightning tribulation, he would be able to break through and become a true sage. Although he hadn't broken through yet, in his opinion, his current strength wasn't any weaker than a sage. Once he unleashed his strongest bloodline, he was confident that he could compete with a sage. It seems that everyone in the world is looking down on me. Then I'll kill a few geniuses and experts and become famous. I want to see who dares to look down on me. On this day, Yun Hai set off. He wanted to challenge the top geniuses and experts of the Yuhan continent to prove himself. Chapter 5131. 3 days later. Yun Hai defeated the top genius of the Divine Fire Sect in 30 moves. It shocked the world. God, the top genius of the Divine Fire Sect, was a terrifying existence. How could he be defeated in 30 moves? This Yun Hai was too terrifying. 5 days later, the top genius of the Earth Spirit Sect was defeated in 50 moves. 10 days later, the elder of Mount Daqing was defeated in 100 moves. 15 days later, the famous fairy Yu Ling of the Jade Horizontal Continent had been defeated in 100 moves. News came one after another. Everyone was shocked. This was because the people who were defeated were all extremely terrifying experts or geniuses in the Yuhan continent. Such people were supreme existences that could sweep across a region. But now they were all defeated. And they were all defeated by Yun Hai. Heavens, this Cloud Sea is too powerful. Why didn't they know that he was so terrifying? He was using these glorious results to prove to the world that he was qualified to challenge Lin Wudi. Lin Wudi, am I qualified? Yun Hai shouted loudly. No one replied. On the 20th day, Yun Hai challenged the top genius of the Tianpeng race, flawless 100 miles. Countless people were shocked. However, the Tianpeng race said coldly, Flawless is in seclusion. If you want to fight, I'll accompany you. An elder of the Tianping race walked out and fought with Yun Hai. After 700 moves, the elder was defeated in the end. You're very strong. I lost. The elder of the Tianping race gritted his teeth. Half of his body was shattered. He had to admit that Yun Hai was too strong. That bloodline shocked him. Even flawless 100 miles might not have the confidence to win against Yun Hai. Heavens! Even the top-notch expert of the Heavenly Rock race was defeated. Who else could suppress Yun Hai? Yun Hai continued to challenge. This time, the Phoenix race sent out a genius to challenge him. It wasn't Morong Qingcheng or Feng Jiao, but he was also terrifying in the Phoenix race. It was a man. He was a fire phoenix. Flames engulfed the 9 heavens. He charged forward and fought with Yun Hai. After 1,000 moves, he was also injured. He won again. Yun Hai had never lost. He was too strong. He could definitely compete with the Crown Prince. Although he was relatively old, he was still considered a top-notch expert. He was qualified to fight with Lin Wudi. At this moment, an expert finally stood out and said coldly. Everyone else agreed. Yes, that's right. Although Lin Wudi was a champion, Yun Hai was also a top expert. Both sides were qualified to fight. Lin Wudi, are you still not coming out? The people of the Destiny Gemini clan sneered. What crown king? You dare to call yourself unrivaled? You don't deserve it. Yun Hai said in a clear voice. A month's time is almost up. I now have the qualifications to challenge you. If you don't dare to come out, then your title of crown king will be mine. From now on, you Lin Wudi will have to kneel and kowtow to the Fate clan. His loud and clear voice spread in all directions. If that was the case, then Lin Wudi was finished this time. Even if he didn't die, his reputation would be ruined. The blow to his opponent's Dao heart was too great. Would Lin Wudi accept the challenge? The news was passed on. Yun Yue and the Crimson Dragon quickly returned after receiving the news. Kid, this is bad. That guy is too much. They informed Lin Xian. Lin Xian frowned. In order to fight with him, Lin Xian had challenged top geniuses and experts in the past month and obtained a dazzling result. Yun Yue frowned. I knew that he couldn't be so strong. Seems like he must have obtained a great opportunity in the past month. I think the old master of destiny must have given him some power. Lin Gongzi, you have to be careful. When she mentioned the old master of destiny, Yun Yue's eyes were filled with fear. Although Lin Xian had killed 4 avatars compared to the old master of the headquarters, it was not worth mentioning. The old master's strength was terrifying to the extreme. No one could provoke him. That was the true trump card of the Destiny clan. Now that the old master had given Yun Hai power, Yun Hai was extremely strong. The toad said, Kid, do you want to fight? Why not? Lin Xian stood up. If he wants to die, I'll fulfill his wish. But you haven't broken through. The Crimson Dragon was worried. Besides, the Twins of Destiny are doing this to let you out. As long as you go out, regardless of the outcome, they will be able to find you. At that time, the Heavenly Network and those people from the Destiny Judgment will definitely be a fierce battle. I know this. I'll tell Qingcheng and ask her to ask the Phoenix clan to hold the line. So what if I haven't broken through? I've already felt the bottleneck. I think this battle is an opportunity. Maybe I can break through this battle. Lin Xian's eyes shone with a piercing light. There were still 5 days before the 1-month deadline. He had to hurry. Let's go. With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian had made up his mind. He walked out of his home world. The devil wings on his back opened, and he flew into the distance at extreme speed. At the same time, he sent a message to Morong Qingcheng, asking her to ask the Phoenix clan to hold the line. After receiving the message, Morong Qingcheng was worried. When she heard that Lin Xian was about to break through, she was very happy. When he became a great sage, she was overjoyed. She thought that Lin Xian's current strength had undergone an earth-shattering change. Brother Xian, don't worry. I'll go and ask them. Murong found her master, who was also the Grand Elder of the Phoenix clan. This was a type of old phoenix, her hair grizzled white, an old woman. She usually planted flowers and fished. When she saw Murong Qingcheng, she smiled and said, "Disciple, you haven't come to see me in a long time." Murong Qingcheng said, "Master, you have to help me this time. If you don't help me, I can only ask the Queen Mother of the West." The old phoenix was surprised. "What is it that you have to ask the Queen Mother of the West for? Are you going to use an extreme weapon?" Murong Qingcheng said, "There's no need for that." She told him about Lin Xian's situation. After hearing this, the old phoenix laughed. "You little girl, so this is what you want. Don't worry. This old man also wants to see just how outstanding this Lin Wuti you mentioned is." There was also a colorful light in his eyes. "That's great." Murong Qingcheng was overjoyed. With this old phoenix, even if the Fate Clan's patriarch came personally, he probably wouldn't dare to touch Lin Xian. At the same time, she spread the news that Lin Xian would fight in a month's time. When the news came out, the world was in an uproar. The heavens were really going to fight. I told you that Lin Wuti would never be afraid. Cultivators of our generation are not afraid of a fight. Those who supported Lin Xian were all excited. Just watch. Lin Wuti will use his peerless divine ability to defeat Yun Hai. That's right. Lin Wuti could even injure the Dragon Prince, let alone Yun Hai. Let's see what it means to be truly invincible. Exclamations sounded one after another, spreading through the 9 heavens. Chapter 5132. The cheers for Lin Xian were too loud. His appearance excited everyone. However, some people snorted coldly. What an idiot! Who did he think he was? Even if he can defeat Yun Hai, can he avoid the judgment of fate? Just wait, he will definitely die this time. He actually wants to fight. The people of the Tianpeng clan were also shocked. This time, even Bailey Wuck came out of seclusion. He wanted to watch the battle personally. The people of the Phoenix clan were even more surprised. Those genius elders and even the patriarch of the Phoenix clan were going to take action. Even Feng Jiu was going to go this time. For a moment, wind and clouds gathered in all directions. The location of the battle this time was a mountain called the Heaven Battling Peak. It was very famous, and everyone gathered there. When the people of the Gemini clan heard the news, they all sneered. "Great, this kid is really an idiot. Does he really think he can win this time? Just wait. This will be the time of his death." The people of the Gemini clan began to prepare. They were already heading over to gather the judgment of fate. Even Yun Hai had arrived at the Heaven Battling Peak ahead of time. He stood there and looked down at the surroundings. "Lin Wuti, I will use your blood to make my name known to the world on the last day of a month." At this moment, countless experts and geniuses from the great sects and clans of the remote antiquity had gathered in all directions. They had already found a place to watch the battle. There was only one figure standing on the mountain peak in front of them. Is that Yun Hai? It is said that he is already 3,000 years old. It is unbelievable. He is so young. I can't tell it all. One after another, discussions sounded. For example, the divine fire sect Duching Peak and the other sects that lost to him had solemn expressions. They had fought with him before, so they naturally knew how terrifying he was. Bailey Wuck stood there and looked at him with a solemn expression. His opponent was indeed very strong, but he was not afraid. The people of the Phoenix clan also came. The patriarch of the Phoenix clan, Feng Jiu, Murong Qingcheng, and even a supreme elder, the old Phoenix, came. His appearance surprised the patriarch of the Phoenix clan. Even Feng Jiu went to greet the supreme elder. The old Phoenix said with a smile, "There is no need to be so polite. I just came to see the rising invincible genius. The people of the Twin of Destiny clan had also come. On the surface, there weren't many of them. Only the Fate clan leader, some elders, and geniuses were present. In truth, they had hidden most of the army and the judgment of fate, waiting for the critical moment to kill with a single strike. Looking at the sun rising high in the sky, the Destiny clan's leader sneered. Still not here? I think you don't dare to come. The genius of the Destiny Gemini clan snorted. Coward! What invincible Lin? His title of Crown King belongs to Yun Hai. Cold snorts could be heard one after another. On the heaven-battling peak, Yun Hai was expressionless as he waited patiently. Suddenly, his eyes lit up as he looked into the distance. The other elders and experts also looked into the distance. They could feel a powerful force coming towards them. In the next moment, they saw a few black dots in the sky, streaking across like lightning. Lin Wudi, Bailey Wuk clenched his fists. Feng Ju smiled. Murong Qingcheng also became nervous. Is Big Brother Xian all right? When she saw Lin Xian descending like a god, she smiled happily. Lin Xian was here. Not only that, the Toad, the Crimson Dragon, and Whitey were all here. Beside him was a woman in a red robe. Her face was covered with a veil that concealed her appearance. It was Yunyu. Go and meet up with Murong Qingcheng. Lin Xian said a few words. The Crimson Dragon and the others came to Murong Qingcheng's side. If a battle really broke out, the Destiny Gemini clan wouldn't dare to attack them. You are invincible, Lin? On the heaven-battling peak, Yun Hai looked at the young man in front of him and asked in a deep voice, That's right, I am. I heard that you dared to challenge me. I don't know where your courage comes from. Lin Xian stepped in the air and descended. He also came to the peak and said indifferently, I am a merciful person and will give you a chance. Disappear in front of me immediately, and I will spare your life. Spare my life? Ha ha! Yun Hai sneered, as if he had heard the funniest joke. Young man, you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Even if you are strong and have the Emperor's talent, so what? I will tell you that the gap between the realms is insurmountable. Right now, I am very close to the great sage level and even have the combat strength of a great sage. Will you be able to withstand it? Speaking of this, he snorted coldly as a terrifying aura spread out in all directions. It was mighty and majestic, covering the entire heaven and earth. When the spectators felt this power, their bodies trembled and their scalps went numb. Heavens, this power! How could he have such a terrifying aura? He was hiding it before. The experts from the Divine Fire Sect and Great Green Peak were also shocked. They realized that this was even more terrifying than when they were fighting. Bailey Wuk's face was gloomy. This power also shocked him. Even he didn't have much of a chance of winning. The Destiny clan's patriarch also stood out and said loudly, Invincible Lin, this time we are competing purely with our own strength. We know that you have the heaven-devouring jar. Do you dare not to use other weapons? Competing with your own strength? Fine. Then we will not use any weapons, including the heaven-devouring jar. Lin Xian said indifferently, Very good. The Destiny clan's patriarch smiled. Yun Hai shook his head. To be honest, even if you use the heaven-devouring jar, I still have a way to suppress you. It's easier now. Make your move, or you won't have a chance. The others were shocked. Is he really not going to use any weapons? They knew that Lin Xian's greatest reliance was the extreme grade weapon, the sky-devouring jar. Once that item was used, even if he couldn't win, he could at least save his life. Now that Lin Xian had lost his greatest reliance, could he compete with Yun Hai? Some of Lin Xian's supporters were angry. This is too despicable. Weapons are also part of one's strength. That's right. If you have the ability, take out your weapon too. However, no matter what, all of this couldn't be changed. Let me make the first move. That's fine. Lin Xian slapped out with his palm. There was a monstrous divine flame on it that swept across the 9 heavens. The flames of extreme yang turned into a golden crow, covering the sky and the earth. Flames? Humph, let me show you what holiness is. Yunhai snorted coldly. Endless golden light appeared on his body, illuminating the 9 heavens. The surrounding people were so dazzled that they couldn't open their eyes. In the next moment, they saw a boundless golden palm descending from the sky. It's too terrifying. It's the holy palm. Countless people sucked in a breath of cold air. They naturally knew about the ultimate divine ability of the Destiny Twins. However, they didn't expect it to be so powerful when it was used by the other party. The members of the Twin of Destiny clan were also surprised after seeing this. The elders were also shocked. Has the young master become so powerful? Chapter 5133. Looking at this terrifying palm, even Morong Qingcheng, Yunyu, and the Crimson Dragon's expressions changed, because this attack was really too terrifying, especially Yunyu. Yunyu was especially shocked. It seemed that Yunhai must have obtained an extremely powerful trump card. Otherwise, his strength wouldn't have become so terrifying. Between heaven and earth, the sacred palm grabbed forward with the radiance of the great Tao. It wanted to suppress Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He roared angrily and took a step forward. His body was surrounded by extremely terrifying flames. He was like the god of the sun that wanted to burn the 9 heavens. The flames that filled the sky rushed toward the sacred palm. The two collided, producing a shocking sound. Suppress him. Seeing that his opponent had blocked his palm, Yunhai roared. Yunhai roared, and the divine palm exploded with light again. Mysterious runes appeared on his 5 fingers. Those were ancient primordial runes. They were abnormally terrifying. As soon as they appeared, the power of this divine ability increased exponentially. The 5 fingers seemed to have turned into divine arrows that pierced through the 9 heavens. They pierced through the divine flames. Then, the huge palm wanted to refine Lin Xian. Light of purification. The primordial runes on the palm burst out with a bright light that purified everything. Not good, many people exclaimed. If they were enveloped by the light of purification, they would probably turn into a pile of bones. It was over. The corners of the Twins of Destiny's lips curled up. It seemed that they didn't need to use the judgment of destiny to fight against the other party. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly. 6-path fist. He punched out, and around his fist there were illusions of 6 different worlds. It was extremely mysterious. As soon as the scene appeared, everyone was shocked. What kind of fist technique was this? It seemed to be able to pierce through the sky. It was too terrifying. As soon as the 6-path fist was punched out, it swept in all directions with an indomitable spirit and the power of the divine body. It collided with the other party's light of evolution. There was a rumbling sound between heaven and earth. The endless void shattered. The blood of the surrounding people surged. As expected of a top expert, these 2 people were fighting fiercely. The light of evolution was shattered by the 6-path fist. Even the 5 fingers were shaking violently. Devil's Fang. At this moment, Yunhai roared again. He would never give up on the advantage he had gained. 5 demon heads appeared on the sacred finger. The fangs on it were abnormally sharp. The demon head bit at Lin Xian, wanting to tear him into pieces. This time, the power of the good and evil children erupted at the same time. The 2 opposing forces were perfectly fused together. His power had increased again, as expected of the young patriarch. This time, how was Lin Wuyi going to defend himself? The people of Fate Clan sneered. They had never seen Lin Xian in action before. Therefore, They thought that Lin Xian was dead meat. However, the other experts had grave expressions on their faces. Lin Xian had defeated Flawless 100 miles before. Would he fall so easily? Looking at the 5 demon heads, Lin Xian coldly snorted. With a wave of his hand, endless devil chi gathered on his left hand, forming the devil god seal. He slammed his palm forward. With one strike, one of the demon heads was smashed into pieces, turning into a death aura that lingered between heaven and earth. A miserable cry was heard, causing Yunhai's expression to change. Damn it! The other 4 demon heads rushed over crazily. Lin Xian continuously waved the devil god seal, smashing the other 4 demon heads. For a moment, Lin Xian was extremely powerful. He swept in all directions, causing his opponent's palm to shake continuously. Yunhai roared and suddenly closed his palm. At this moment, the void within his palm was completely shattered. Lin Wuti was hit. Seeing this scene, countless cries of surprise sounded, but they were suppressed by this power. His body should have turned into a bloody mist long ago. Although he was not dead, he was still seriously injured. Kid, let's see how you die. I will refine you. Yunhai's lips curled into a smile again. However, not long after, the smile disappeared. Because a sonorous sound came from his palm. A huge force rushed towards his palm. Then one of his fingers was broken. Lin Xian used the 6 Paths Divine Fist. After waving it millions of times in a row, he directly broke one of his fingers. Then he charged out forcefully, surrounded by laws. He was extremely powerful. Kill for me. He clasped his hands together and slashed out with his sword. A sharp sword chi descended and split the remaining palm in half. How was this possible? The people of the Twin of Destiny clan roared crazily. Such a terrifying divine ability was actually broken by the other party. What kind of power was this? The expressions of the others changed drastically. It was too terrifying. It was indeed Lin Wuti. Bailey Wuck and the others had solemn expressions. They knew that the other party would not be defeated so easily. After Lin Xian came out, sword chi surrounded his body. He smiled and said, "Is that all you have? You really disappoint me. If that's all you have, then it's all over. This sharp-tongued kid has some strength. No wonder he can be crowned king. Unfortunately, my trump card is not something you can imagine. Next, you have angered me. Suffer my anger." Yunhai's eyes blossomed with an extremely terrifying light. His aura also changed. It was no longer sacred, but sinister and terrifying, as if he had transformed into the death god of hell. As his palm opened and closed, it was no longer the light of purification, but the 18 levels of hell. Each level was surrounded by evil spirits. It was abnormally sinister and terrifying. That aura caused the expressions of the surrounding people to change. Their souls trembled. The moment the 18 levels of hell appeared, the sky trembled and the void shattered. Kill. Yunhai roared angrily. His palm descended, and the 18 levels of hell shattered. The void once again enveloped Lin Xian. This was not a weapon, but a manifestation of a great divine ability. It could be said to be very terrifying. Lin Xian raised his fist to resist. With a clang, the 6 Paths Divine Fist smashed onto the 18 levels of hell. The sky trembled. Endless sounds made the surrounding people's ears bleed. The 18 levels of hell did not move at all and directly pressed down. Everyone was shocked. Was it so terrifying? They had witnessed how terrifying Lin Xian's fist was. But even so, there was nothing they could do. 18 levels of hell. What kind of power was this? The people of the Twins of Destiny laughed again. This kid is like a mantis trying to stop a chariot. Yunhai snorted coldly. It's useless. You can't escape. Enter the 18 levels of hell and accept the punishment of death. Boom. The 18 levels of hell descended, enveloping Lin Xian. Everyone was shocked. However, At this moment, a phantom appeared behind Yun Hai. Then, a sword stabbed out. Everyone was shocked. What kind of sword technique was this? Even the powerhouses of the older generation felt their scalps go numb, because they realized that under this sword, they couldn't dodge at all. It might even be a one-hit kill. Chapter 51:34. Who was it? He actually made a move at this time. Even the people of the Twin of Destiny clan shouted angrily. They wanted to help. However, at this time, they were stunned. They found that the one who made the move was actually Lin Xian. Impossible! Wasn't this kid suppressed in the 18 levels of hell? How could he still come out? An illusion. That was his afterimage just now. His speed was too fast. The people of the Thunder clan roared. They had fought with Lin Xian before, so they naturally knew that his speed was even more terrifying than their thunder steps. Yun Hai's pupils shrank. He felt a fatal danger coming from behind. He didn't know who it was, and he didn't have the chance to listen to the discussions of the people around him. At this moment, he roared and his body swayed, dodging the fatal danger. This sword pierced his shoulder, tearing a wound on his shoulder. He roared like an injured beast, turned around, and struck out with his palm. The terrifying aura turned his back into a black hole. However, he didn't hit Lin Xian and appeared in another direction again. Another sword. Azura sword technique. Second sword. The shocking sword light was even more terrifying. Yun Hai roared. This time, it pierced through his body, but it didn't pierce his heart. After the second sword, the third sword came again. This time, it pierced towards his forehead. He roared crazily and blocked with both hands, striking out with terrifying power. Half of his body was holy, and the other half was dark. However, under this sword, his arms were cut off, and his whole body retreated. There was a crack between his eyebrows. It almost split his head in half. The 3 sword strikes in a row happened in an instant. When everyone reacted, they saw that Yun Hai was seriously injured and had retreated. It was too fast. Everyone was in an uproar. What kind of speed was this? What kind of sword technique was this? It was a one-hit kill. It was terrifying to the extreme. At the same time, the people of the Phoenix clan were also amazed. This Yun Hai was truly extraordinary. Even the experts of the older generation had died several times in his killing spree. Moreover, this Yun Hai was not ordinary at all. Yun Hai was only injured, and his life wasn't in danger. They had to admit that the opponent was indeed very strong. Yun Hai felt the pain from his body, and he roared crazily. The blood in his body burned, quickly healing his injuries. He found that these injuries had an indestructible power that was difficult to erase. Damn it! Within his bloodline, extremely powerful runes appeared and forcefully healed his broken body. His face became incomparably pale. He didn't expect that healing his injured body would consume so much of his strength. This was too inconceivable. Even if he was severely injured by a saint, it shouldn't be so difficult for him to recover. There was a problem with this person's swordsmanship. In fact, each of his moves carried an aura of invincibility. Damn brat, you've completely infuriated me. Yun Hai formed a seal with his hands, and the phantoms of good and evil that he had summoned circled around him. At this moment, the entire sky was split into 2. Half of it was as dark as the devil, while the other half was as holy as the heavens. Everyone was terrified. They knew that Yun Hai was completely enraged and was about to unleash his true ultimate technique. Countless people gasped in surprise. They didn't expect that the outcome of the battle would be decided in less than 100 moves. The members of the Fate clan were excited. The Fate clan leader's eyes shone brightly. Yun Hai, go ahead and let these people see your new ancestors' inheritance. Yunyu was shocked. The Crimson Dragon asked, "What's wrong?" Yunyu said that the good and evil that we summon are all phantoms. But look, The one that Yun Hai summoned is about to materialize. This meant that his bloodline had become much more terrifying than before. His strength would probably increase a lot in the future. When the Crimson Divine Dragon and the others heard this, they sucked in a breath of cold air. They knew that if the good and evil phantoms weren't destroyed at the same time, it would be very difficult for Yun Hai to fall. This was a very difficult battle. Kill. With a roar, Yun Hai made his move and punched out. The evil sun behind him also flew out. The fist turned into a hell dragon that covered the sky and was about to tear the 9 heavens apart. Lin Xian snorted coldly and slashed out with his sword. It turned into a black dragon that danced between heaven and earth. The 2 dragons clashed like 2 giant dragons, and a sonorous sound rang out. Between heaven and earth, the void shattered like a mirror. At this moment, the second move came. With a palm strike, it seemed to have turned into the heavens. Yun Hai suppressed down with supreme power. On the other side, the black dragon turned into a black mist. It condensed again and formed the 18 levels of hell. At this moment, Yun Hai carried the power of heaven and hell and charged toward Lin Xian. He cut off his opponent's path. Kid, I've created 2 worlds, so what if you're fast? Can you escape? Not good. Lin Wuti is in danger this time. The people of the Phoenix clan frowned, and the people of the Thunder clan also laughed. It seemed that Yun Hai was restraining the opponent's speed. Without speed, Lin Xian couldn't resist this power. Flawless 100 miles of the Heavenly Rock clan's eyes shone. Lin Wuti, how are you going to resist? He knew that weapons weren't allowed in this battle, which meant that Lin Xian couldn't use the Heaven-Devouring Jar. So he wanted to see what other trump cards Lin Wuti had. Looking at heaven and hell, he charged. Lin Xian stood there without moving. His expression was incomparably cold. His palms formed a seal, and a black and white aura spun in his hands. Then they turned into a Tai Chi diagram and charged forward. Tai Chi turned into yin and yang, colliding with heaven and hell. Millions of thunder rumbled. A storm formed between heaven and earth, and countless people retreated frantically. At the same time, they widened their eyes. Did he block it? How was that possible? The people of the Twin of Destiny clan were stunned. They couldn't believe it. The people of the Thunder clan were also stunned. This time, Lin Xian didn't escape. The people of the Phoenix clan and the Heavenly Rock clan were also shocked. What was that? The power of yin and yang. He actually condensed a yin-yang diagram. They were too shocked. The power of yin and yang. The original power of heaven and earth turned into yin and yang. Shouldn't it be Kun Pengzi? Why was it Lin Xian? This guy actually had such a unique skill. Flawless 100 miles, gritted his teeth. This kind of power, when he fought with him before, the other party didn't use it at all. In other words, the other party didn't use all his strength before. He gritted his teeth. On the other side, Feng Zhou's eyes also burst out with a cold light. Had another super powerful trump card appeared? Lin Wuti not only had the aura of the dragon, but also the power of yin and yang. The Phoenix clan leader also narrowed her eyes. She was shocked. Now she understood why Lin Xian wanted to attack the 4 Dharma Laksana avatars. The other party wanted to use the power of the good and evil twins to improve his yin-yang diagram. Between heaven and earth, hell and heaven were blocked. The yin-yang diagram kept spinning with a mysterious aura. Although it was small, the light it emitted was terrifying. I've said it before. You can't do anything to me. Lin Xian's indifferent voice sounded. On the opposite side, Yun Hai's expression was ferocious. His eyes were red as he stared at the Tai Chi diagram. Chapter 5135. Damn it! The power of yin and yang. Yun Hai was extremely ferocious. He couldn't understand how his opponent could control such power. I can't accept this. His crazy anger and bloodline power burst out, enveloping heaven and hell. The heavenly hall gradually condensed into the shape of an angel, which grabbed forward. On the other side, hell also turned into a grim reaper and moved quickly. The angel's palm and the grim reaper's palm grabbed the yin-yang diagram and wanted to tear it apart. The power of yin and yang is the ancestor of the Destiny clan. How can you fight with me? I'll prove to you that you're vulnerable in front of me. Break for me. Yun Hai roared crazily, and his terrifying aura tore the whole world apart. The yin-yang diagram shook violently as if it would break at any time. Lin Xian snorted, and an extremely terrifying light burst out from his eyes. Just you? Well, I'll let you see my true strength today. Lin Xian circulated the dragon soul aura in his body. Open! With a roar, the yin-yang diagram slowly opened. Great, it was torn apart. The Destiny twins sneered. This time, Lin Xian's foundation was damaged. The other people's scalps went numb. Could it be that Lin Wudi was defeated in the battle of yin and yang? It seemed to be the case. The people of the Tianpeng clan shook their heads and sighed. If they wanted to compete with the Destiny clan, only the real Kuanpeng clan could compete with them. Unless Kuanpeng Zi came, he could suppress Yun Hai. Feng Jiu frowned, and Morong Qingcheng and the others were also nervous. However, at this time, Morong Qingcheng laughed, and the others widened their eyes. They found that Lin Xian was not injured, and the yin-yang diagram was not broken. Instead, there was a shocking change. On one side, endless light bloomed, and the flames of the 9 heavens condensed into a figure. Wearing golden armor and holding a golden sword, he turned into a yang god. On the other side, the aura of death was monstrous, and it condensed into a black spear. It turned into a yin god. Kill! Lin Xian formed a seal behind him. The yang god roared, holding the 9 yang divine sword, and attacked the archangel. On the other side, Yin Shen wielded the spear of death and charged towards Death God. The 4 phantoms fought fiercely between heaven and earth. The power of yin and yang erupted and swept through the 9 heavens. All sorts of laws danced in the air, and the terrifying radiance caused the world to tumble. Everyone was stunned when they saw this scene. How was this possible? The members of the Twin of Destiny clan couldn't believe it. Even their patriarch had gone crazy. The only reason they could do this was because they had the good and evil twins. What right does the other party have? Could it be that the other party also had this bloodline? Even Yun Yu was dumbfounded. At this moment, a sense of fear emerged in his heart. The more time she spent with Lin Xian, the more she found him to be unfathomable. It was as if even gods could not contend against him. Damn it, Yun Hai urged the Archangel and the Grim Reaper to attack wildly. However, the Yang God and the Yin God were even more terrifying. Lin Xian had devoured the power of the 4 Dharma manifestations. The Yin-Yang laws were extremely terrifying. In addition, the Yang God and the Yin God were originally evolved from the power of the great dragon sword soul. His every move was filled with boundless power. The 2 sides exchanged over 100 moves, and the 9 Yang divine sword split the Archangel apart with a single slash. On the other side, the spear of death had also pierced through the Grim Reaper. Had the outcome been decided? Countless people exclaimed. Yun Hai kept vomiting blood. Her face turned pale, and cracks appeared on her body. Had she lost? Damn it! Lin Xian strode over and slapped her away. He said coldly, "You're no match for me at all. Who do you think you are to shout at me? Do you have the right to challenge me?" As he spoke, he threw out punches continuously. The 6-path fist forced the other party to keep retreating. "Damn it! How dare you!" The Destiny clan's patriarch roared crazily when he saw this scene. He took a step forward and a terrifying aura pressed down. As the patriarch of a clan, his strength was terrifying. At this moment, the surrounding spectators couldn't help but kneel on the ground. Oh no, is the Destiny clan going to attack? Countless terrified voices were heard. On the Phoenix clan's side, Murong Qingcheng hurriedly looked at the old Phoenix. Old Phoenix sighed. It's best if you don't interfere in the battle of the young. His voice carried a terrifying aura, causing the pressure in the sky to disappear. Who dares to interfere? The Destiny clan's patriarch roared and turned his head. The next moment he saw an old man. His soul shook. It's you? Damn it. The other party actually invited the old Phoenix of the Phoenix clan. This made him feel like he was facing a great enemy. The Crimson Dragon also jumped out. Destiny clan, you were the one who set the challenge. Why are you slapping your own face now? The Toad sneered. It was a one-on-one battle. If the young can't do it, the old will come out. Do you think we're not prepared? A cold laugh was heard. The members of the Twin of Destiny clan were so angry that they were about to vomit blood. Yunhai also angrily shouted, Father, don't interfere. I'll do it myself. I haven't lost yet. As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were shocked. Haven't lost yet? Does Yunhai still have the strength to fight? Yunhai roared, and the good and evil phantom condensed again. The others were also amazed. It was too terrifying. Only the Twins of Destiny had such combat prowess. He's still not dead after suffering such serious injuries. The people of the Thunder Clan shook their heads. The Destiny Twins would only die if they died at the same time. Otherwise, they were immortal. It was impossible for Lin Wudi to kill the other party. On the contrary, if Yunhai was really determined to exhaust Lin Xian, he might really be able to turn the tables. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Why, not admitting defeat? Then I'll kill you until you admit defeat. He continued to urge the Yin god and Yang god to kill. Damn it, I don't believe that you're stronger than me. Yunhai gritted his teeth. The other party was only a holy king, and he was a mid-stage great sage. Their combat strength was about the same, but their cultivation bases were much weaker. And this difference in cultivation bases, that was the difference in strength. The other party's combat strength was stronger than his, but the time he could last was definitely much shorter than his. This was the difference in cultivation bases. He could exhaust the other party to death. But this time, he was really wrong. He didn't know that Lin Xian had a powerful world in his body that provided resources. It could be said that his strength would never be exhausted. Just like that, Yunhai was chased for 3 days. The good and evil ones had been destroyed hundreds of times. Lin Xian's Yang God and Yin God aura didn't weaken at all. Yunhai went crazy. Damn it, how was this possible? How could the other party have so much strength? Not to mention him, the surrounding powerhouses couldn't believe it. Bailey Wuck and Feng Jiu also frowned. Did Lin Wudi secretly take a pill? They carefully observed every detail, but didn't find anything. It seems that you have no more trump cards. Then I'll send you on your way. Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with a terrifying light. He was ready to end this battle. Damn it, who said that I have no trump cards? I'll let you see my greatest trump card. Chapter 5136. Twin Souls. Yunhai's body was stained with blood, but his eyes were unusually cold. A terrifying bloodline power surged out. The good and evil twins had completely materialized at this moment. Heavens, what did he summon? Countless people were shocked. Twin souls. In the distance, Yunyu also exclaimed. He actually obtained such an inheritance? Murong Qingcheng said. Is it very powerful? Yunyu's expression was cold. This was the method of the Fate Ancestor. It was equivalent to borrowing the power of the Fate Ancestor from afar. As soon as these words came out, Murong Qingcheng's face became incomparably solemn. The Crimson Dragon and the Toad next to him also had cold expressions. This was already very dangerous. One had to know that now that they couldn't use weapons, it was equivalent to not being able to use many of their trump cards. Now that the other party had used such a powerful technique, it was really dangerous. Why do I feel like that good and evil statue seems to have come to life? There's actually the aura of souls on it. The surrounding powerhouses were also shocked. The powerhouses of the Heavenly Rock clan and the Phoenix clan also gasped. This method was too incredible. The Destiny twins were so excited that they were about to kneel on the ground. Great! They felt the message of the Fate Ancestor. The Fate Ancestor had descended from afar. Yunhai also felt a powerful force. This force had completely surpassed his own. He laughed wildly. "Kid, go to hell." He slapped out with his palm. Monstrous powers swept across heaven and earth. The two figures that were summoned behind him were like two real great sages. They were extremely powerful. They rose into the air and charged forward. In an instant, Lin Xian spat out blood and flew backward. Even the yin and yang spirits he summoned were torn apart in an instant. He was injured. Lin Wuti was injured. Countless voices of discussion sounded. Morong Qingcheng and the others were extremely nervous. "Brat, did you see that? Do you think you can withstand my true trump card? Now go to hell for me." Yunhai slapped out again. The monstrous laws were incomparably violent. Lin Xian's pupils shrank, and he quickly retreated. The place where he was originally standing instantly shattered, and he vomited another mouthful of blood. It's over. This time, Lin Wuti was really in danger. The surrounding people could see that after using the Gemini souls, they were all shocked. Yunhai had already used a powerful force from the alternate dimension. Although it wasn't his own power, it didn't violate the rules. The rules only stated that weapons could not be used, but they did not say that summoning powers could not be used. Just like that, Yunhai continued to attack and began to chase after Lin Xian. He laughed out loud like a victor. The members of the Twin of Destiny clan also laughed. It was only a matter of time before Lin Wuti fell. Yunhai was just playing a game of cat and mouse. Another palm shot out. It was like a raging wave crashing against the shore. The rumbling sound spread out for a long time. Lin Xian retreated. The indestructible longevity war armor appeared on his body to repair itself. "It's useless, kid. Stop resisting. You're no match for me. Kneel down obediently, and I'll give you a quick death." Lin Xian's expression was cold, but then he smiled. "Twin souls? It's not your power at all. So what? I can summon this power, and he is mine. If you have the ability, you can summon it too. Otherwise, I'll let you know what regret is. Do you think I won't?" Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Next, I'll let you experience what a real summon is." He formed a seal with his palms, and the demonic energy on his body quickly swept out. Yunhai was stunned. Then he laughed out loud. "Who do you think you are? You don't have a powerful family. You don't have an ancestor. So, where can you summon power?" The others were also puzzled. What was this guy trying to do? The members of the Twin of Destiny clan also snorted disdainfully. In their opinion, no matter what the other party did, he couldn't escape death. The demonic energy on Lin Xian's body became more and more terrifying. It condensed behind him, forming a shadow. The shadow was very blurry, but as soon as it appeared, it erupted with an ancient and mysterious aura. It caused the surrounding sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Even the virtuous child and the evil child let out a roar. Their expressions became extremely uneasy. What kind of power was this? The members of the Twin of Destiny clan roared crazily. They felt that something was wrong. Yunhai's pupils also shrank. Damn it, he knew that he had underestimated the other party. The other party could actually summon a mysterious existence. He absolutely wouldn't allow the other party to use this power. With an angry roar, It rushed over like a bolt of lightning. The good twin's body bloomed with light, causing the sun in the sky to lose its brilliance. He held the scepter in his hand and struck out a shocking blow. On the other side, the evil twin also charged over. The aura on it made people's hearts tremble. The terrifying power made people despair. The strongest attack, destroy it for me, Yun Hai roared angrily. In an instant he arrived in front of Lin Xian. Two kinds of power enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and the demonic shadow behind him moved. He stretched out a finger and pointed forward. That finger instantly materialized. Boom! With a point of his finger, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. A heaven-shaking sound rang out, and the void in front and around instantly shattered. It turned into darkness. The good twin and the evil twin were sent flying, and endless cracks appeared on their bodies. Then they collapsed. Yun Hai was pierced through by the finger, and a bloody hole appeared on his body. He kept screaming in the air. The surrounding spectators were shocked when they saw this scene, especially the Destiny clan, who couldn't believe it. How was this possible? Yun Hai Dong was using the power of the Destiny clan's ancestor. Although there was only a little, the twin souls were extremely terrifying. Even a saint couldn't resist it. However, the other party had managed to block it and even managed to shatter it. How did he do it? The Destiny clan leader gritted his teeth and roared. Impossible! What was that demonic shadow behind the other party? No, I don't believe it. I won't lose. Yun Hai roared. His expression was ferocious. Could it be that he was still defeated after using his strongest trump card? He charged forward again. The demonic shadow behind Lin Xian attacked again. Demonic God Seal. A huge seal attacked and completely suppressed him. He was suppressed in the sky by a huge black mountain. He roared crazily and wanted to escape. However, Lin Xian attacked again. The demonic shadow behind him once again struck out with the demonic god finger and pointed at his forehead. This demonic shadow was too terrifying. Yun Hai was summoned by force, and it was the power of the Destiny clan's ancestor. But Lin Xian's demon summoning scripture was even more mysterious. No matter how powerful the Destiny clan's ancestor was, he wasn't a great emperor. And the demon summoning scripture was created by a great emperor. Lin Xian guessed that the demonic shadow behind him was most likely the phantom of a great emperor. The power of a great emperor was absolutely supreme. Therefore, under this finger, Yun Hai lost his life completely. His body fell from the sky. Lin Xian took the other party's storage ring. As for the other party's power, it was also swallowed by him with the Taiji diagram. Chapter 5137. Everyone was shocked when Yun Hai was destroyed. The twin of Destiny clan went crazy. They couldn't accept this result. Yun Hai had received the inheritance of the ancestor and possessed the twin souls, but he still died. What exactly was this thing that Lin Wudi summoned? Damn it, was he already so terrifying? The people of the Thunder clan went crazy. The people of the Heavenly Peng clan sucked in a breath of cold air. Even the Phoenix clan had a solemn expression. The Crimson Dragon and the others laughed out loud. The Toad jumped out and said, "How is it? Weren't you very arrogant before? How dare you challenge us? Now, continue." The Crimson Dragon sneered. An ant was an ant. Even if it was summoned, the power that didn't belong to it was still unable to withstand a single blow. The corner of Murong Qingqing's mouth raised into a smile. Great Brother Xian was fine. She was relieved. Yunyu was shocked. Even the twin souls couldn't do anything to the other party. This time, he felt despair. He was afraid that he wouldn't be able to defeat the other party even if he cultivated for the rest of his life. Damn it, you dare to hurt our young patriarch. On the side of the Twin of Destiny clan, a few elders were instantly enraged. They rushed over. Lin Xian shouted coldly. The demonic shadow behind him hadn't disappeared yet. He pointed out a finger. It was like a demonic sword descending. Instantly, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The two elders vomited blood and flew out. Their bodies shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish." A cold voice sounded. The people of the Destiny clan trembled in despair. Were their elders unable to withstand a single blow? The two elders were even more terrified. Previously, they had only seen this finger. Now that they had personally experienced it, they trembled in fear. However, the Destiny clan leader stood up. "Lin Wuti, you dare to kill my son. Go to hell." He was really crazy. The previous attack was so fast that he didn't even have time to react. Moreover, he never thought that Yun Hai would die. One had to know that even if Yun Hai was defeated, it was impossible for him to die with the twin souls. So now that Yun Hai had died, he couldn't bear it. By the time he reacted, it was already too late. He could only kill the brat in front of him to avenge Yun Hai. Taking a step forward, the power on his body exploded and swept across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. Their heads were about to split open. They were terrified. Was the Fate clan leader going to make a move himself? That was the head of a clan. His strength far surpassed Yun Hai's. Lin Xian also felt a chill run down his spine. Even if he had the devil shadow behind him, he still wouldn't be able to compete with the Fate tribe's appearance. Morong Qingqing's expression changed. He looked at the old phoenix. The old phoenix walked out and waved her hand. An ancient phoenix phantom covered the sky and blocked the other party's aura of destiny. He said coldly, "As the leader of a clan, how could you be so despicable?" The previous duel had been a fair one. Yun Hai's death could only be attributed to his inferior skills. "If you want to make a move and break the rules, you have to ask for my permission first." The old phoenix's voice was abnormally terrifying. The Fate clan leader was instantly frozen. He gritted his teeth. "Humph, do you think it won't die if I don't do anything?" He was definitely going to die today. The Fate clan leader waved his hand. The wind and clouds in all directions shattered, and 100 figures appeared. A holy angel and 99 hunters surrounded Lin Xian from all directions, feeling the terrifying aura around them. The surrounding people felt their scalps go numb. They didn't expect such a terrifying existence to exist. The people of the Heavenly Rock clan exclaimed, "Fate adjudication. They really came." The others were shocked when they heard it. They had already guessed that the Fate clan wouldn't let this matter rest. Now that they had brought a long fate adjudication, it was an invincible force. Even a sage wouldn't be able to escape death. Now that fate adjudication had made a move. Could Lin Xian withstand it? "How dare you?" The old phoenix roared, and was about to make a move. However, the Fate clan leader said, "I respect you as a senior. Since you're holding me back, I'll be your opponent." An extremely terrifying phantom appeared from his body and blocked the old phoenix. Fate adjudication's actions were too fast. It made a move in an instant. A holy angel's light and 99 death sights covered the sky and the earth. Everyone was stunned. "It's over. This Lin Wuti is definitely going to die." Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a boom, an earth-shattering sound rang out. 3 vortexes appeared around him and surrounded him to absorb the energy. However, he was still forced back, and his blood was boiling. "It's useless. Lin Wuti, even if you have the devouring heaven jar, you won't be able to escape death today." The scepter in the holy angel's hand was a legendary sage weapon. At this moment, after it was activated, it had a mysterious power. The 99 hunters used their bloodline power to wield another saint artifact They condensed into a terrifying death scythe. Lin Xian's situation was extremely dangerous. A vortex appeared around Lin Xian. It slowly disappeared. He stood in the void. Everyone was extremely excited when they saw this scene. What was going on? Did Lin Wuyi give up on using the devouring heaven jar? Could it be that he knew that he was going to die? Ha ha! The people of the fake clan sneered. This time, they must tear the other party into pieces. The devouring heaven jar was theirs. Lin Xian's voice was cold. Fate's judgment, punishing others, controlling their fate? I want to see if you can control my fate. An extremely terrifying aura burst out from Lin Xian's eyes. On his body, a Tai Chi diagram appeared and kept spinning. The good and evil aura of the Sea of Clouds was also absorbed by the Tai Chi diagram. Lin Xian felt that his law of yin and yang had reached a limit. With a boom, an extremely terrifying power appeared in his body. In the sky, thunderclouds gathered and emitted an extremely terrifying aura. What was going on? Everyone was stunned. They looked up at the sky. Bailey Wuck exclaimed. He was going to break through. He was going to become a supreme sage. Feng Jie was also shocked. These top geniuses were all at the peak of the Sage King realm. No one had entered the supreme sage realm yet. Could it be that Lin Wuyi was going to be the first to become a supreme sage? If that was the case, then he would be above everything. Damn it! Stop him! When the Fate Clan leader saw this, he roared crazily. The holy angel waved his hand and activated the powerful holy scepter. The other people crazily activated the death scythe and slashed down mercilessly. At this moment, a thunderbolt streaked across the sky and directly struck the holy scepter and the death scythe. The holy angel and 99 hunters were also sent flying while vomiting blood. The other people's blood was boiling. Many of them directly knelt on the ground. What was going on? At this moment, even the Heavenly Rock clan leader and the Phoenix clan leader's expression changed drastically. They felt a fatal threat. The Phoenix clan leader's pupils shrank. The Fate clan leader was even more shocked. What was going on? Chapter 51:38. There was an extremely terrifying power between heaven and earth. It was as if an ancient beast had been resurrected. The terrifying aura sent chills down everyone's spine. At this moment, they looked up at the sky and saw lightning gathering. Not good. He was going to break through. Someone was going to pass the tribulation. Roars of anger could be heard. It was definitely none other than Lin Xian. Was he going to pass the tribulation at this time? Stop him! The Destiny Clan leader roared. The Holy Angel and 99 hunters attacked crazily. They used their ultimate killing moves. However, at this moment, the sky suddenly turned red like a sea of blood. A red lightning bolt fell directly, and everyone was sent flying while vomiting blood. There were even more than a dozen hunters who were instantly turned into a bloody mist. What was going on? Everyone was stunned. The Phoenix clan leader's face changed drastically. The red lightning was heaven's punishment. Damn it, let's go. He waved his hand and led the Phoenix clan to retreat crazily. He was not the only one. The Skyrock clan leader and the other experts who were watching the battle all retreated. Lightning tribulation and heaven's punishment were two different things. Lightning tribulation was the heaven's punishment during the tribulation. It was produced by the heavenly Tao. It was the most powerful punishment in the entire universe. Those who attracted heaven's punishment would definitely die. They were people who could not be tolerated by heaven and earth. Damn it, how could it be heaven's punishment? The Destiny Clan leader was also dumbfounded. He no longer dared to fight against the old Phoenix. He led his people to retreat crazily. The old Phoenix also retreated far away, his brows tightly knitted together. He really could not understand. How could a top genius like Lin Wuti, a young great emperor, attract heaven's punishment? Damn it, he was going to break through. The Crimson Dragon and the others' faces changed. They were all worried for Lin Xian because they knew that Lin Xian was an abandoned immortal. Every time he broke through, he would have to accept heaven's punishment unless he entered the sword world. But now, he seemed to want to borrow the power of heaven's punishment to fight against the enemy. The old phoenix came here and asked Murong Qingcheng. Murong Qingcheng said a few simple words. The old phoenix was shocked. It was an abandoned immortal. That was too unbelievable. A person who had been abandoned by immortals was actually able to reach this step. The Phoenix clan leader was not in the mood to care about these things right now. She quickly left with her people. Murong Qingcheng was worried. The old Phoenix said, "You said that he has a way. If you stay here, you will attract divine punishment. Leave quickly." Murong Qingcheng nodded. She knew that Lin Xian had a way to deal with sky law. Therefore, he also retreated and left. At this moment, everyone around the heaven-battling peak had disappeared. Within 10 million miles, not a single human figure could be seen. Those demonic beasts also fled one after another. Everyone was watching from afar. However, what was surprising was that after the initial explosion of the heavenly punishment's terrifying power, it gradually weakened. Everyone was stunned. What was going on? Could it be that Lin Wuti was killed by a single bolt of divine punishment? They didn't understand, but no one dared to go. There was still a trace of thundercloud left in the sky, as if it was looking for a target. If they went over at this time, they would immediately be beaten to death. Therefore, everyone was waiting. In the void below sky law, Lin Xian had already disappeared. A black vortex swallowed him. Lin Xian entered the sword world and dodged the attack of sky law. After entering, he began to break through with all his strength. This time, there was no lightning in the sky. Instead, flames appeared in all directions. It appeared on his body out of thin air and burned him. Lin Xian was shocked. What was going on? What were these flames? He felt that they were countless times stronger than his 9-yang divine fire. It caused his 9-yang divine body to crack in an instant. The Hellfire Dragon saw this and quickly retreated. He shouted from afar, "Brat, hang in there. This is called tribulation fire." It was the same as lightning tribulation. Why was there no lightning tribulation? Lin Xian was confused. He resisted and asked, "What do you know?" The Hellfire Dragon said, "It has something to do with the world you are in. The specific explanation is too long. I guess you don't have the patience to listen. You know that when you reach the level of great sage and enter this world, it will be tribulation fire after you break through." Lin Xian could no longer hear anything because the pain from the flames was so intense that he was about to faint. Damn it. He didn't expect that breaking through to great sage would be such a terrifying tribulation. He roared crazily and blocked with all his strength. One moment, the law on his body was overflowing, and the next moment, the terrifying devil chi swept through. Sword chi swept through. At this moment, the sword world was really changing. The last flame completely enveloped Lin Xian's body. Lin Xian's 9-yang divine body was broken. However, when a new body was condensed, it bloomed with a crystal-clear radiance. An even more terrifying flame, aura filled the air. This shocked Lin Xian. This tribulation fire lasted for half a year. Lin Xian's body experienced countless breakdowns. Finally, on this day, the tribulation fire disappeared. His body was completely recovered. The aura on his body became extremely terrifying. He broke through. In such a short time, the Hellfire Dragon was surprised. In his imagination, it would take at least 3 years. But now, it was completed in just half a year. Chapter 50, 139. What? Someone came out? Heavens, who is it? They looked carefully and were shocked. It's Lin Woody. He didn't die. He actually came back alive. Quickly report to the family. These people were extremely shocked and quickly left. They wanted to personally report this news to the family. Half a year ago, Yunhai and Lin Woody fought at the peak of the battle. Lin Woody killed Yunhai, but immediately after, he attracted heaven's punishment. Then millions of miles of space became a forbidden area. No one dared to cross the line. This news naturally spread. In half a year, the entire Yuhan continent knew about it. Even the people in Holy Abyss ancient city knew about the situation. They were extremely worried. Some people sneered. Encountering heaven's punishment meant death. People like Dragon Palace and Blue Clan heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Woody finally fell. On Yuhan continent's side, the people of Lei Dong clan sneered. The people of Destiny clan gritted their teeth. Although Lin Woody is dead, they also lost Yunhai. He was the young master of the clan. More importantly, Lin Xian's fall had nothing to do with them. They couldn't get anything from Lin Xian's body, especially the extreme weapon and cultivation technique inheritance. Those were all things that made them jealous. But now, all of them were buried in heaven's punishment. No one dared to take them. They constantly sent people to investigate. As soon as heaven's punishment disappeared, they would send their strongest forces to snatch the extreme weapon devouring heaven's jar. In fact, they weren't the only ones. The other clans also had their eyes on the devouring heaven's jar. Once they got the extreme weapon, they would have the qualifications to challenge the monarch clans and become the true overlords of the universe. On this day, news finally came back. The people who went to investigate came back personally. Clan leader, there's news. Destiny clan's people landed and roared crazily. Destiny clan leader came out with a group of elders. How was it? Did heaven's punishment disappear? The sage nodded crazily and disappeared. Heaven's punishment disappeared. That's great. Destiny clan leader's eyes burst out with a sharp light. Let's go. This time, I want to snatch the devouring heaven's jar personally. The surrounding elders formed seals and summoned the strong ones. However, the sage shook his head. No, clan leader, you can't go. What's wrong? Has it been taken by someone else? Destiny clan leader frowned. Who was it that moved so quickly? The sage said that the divine punishment had disappeared, but Lin Woody had not died. He had walked out alive. What did you say? The Fate clan leader was stunned, and so were the others. Lin Woody didn't die. How was this possible? The Fate clan's clan leader grabbed the saint's neck and roared madly. He attracted the wrath of the heavens, and you say he didn't die? The saint was so scared that he started crying. He said in a trembling voice, I don't know either. But the people we left there to investigate all saw it. Lin Woody walked out alive. The other families should have received the news by now. Damn it. How could it be like this? The Fate clan leader roared crazily as the 9 heavens and 10 earths shattered. He was really mad. His son had fallen, but the other party was still alive. Not only the Fate clan, but the Thunder clan and the Divine Fire clan were also shocked when they heard the news. None of them believed it. When the Heavenly Rock race received the news, they were even more shocked. Bailey Wuck's eyes shone with a positive light. The other party was still alive. So, how did he avoid the heavenly punishment? Damn it. Did he break through and become a great sage? The Heavenly Rock guard said. He wasn't sure as he was too far away, but he didn't feel a strong aura. Maybe he didn't break through. The Heavenly Rock race leader also said that if he didn't break through, then he might really be able to avoid the heavenly punishment. But then he wouldn't be able to advance for the rest of his life. Wuck, you are different from him. Although you lost to him last time, your future is bright. You just need some time to break through and become a great sage. You might even reach the peak of the great sage realm, and he will always be a sage king. The gap between the two of you will get bigger and bigger. It won't be long before you can trample him under your feet. That's right. Hearing this, Bailey Wuck clenched his fists. Yes, the other party couldn't break through anymore, but he could continue to advance. The gap between them would get bigger and bigger. Just wait, he would break through and become a great sage as soon as possible. When the Phoenix clan received the news, they didn't dare to believe it. Are you sure he came back alive? The Phoenix clan leader was shocked. That's right. The guard who came to report nodded. What else did the Phoenix clan leader want to say? At this moment, the guard guarding the mountain gate rushed over and said, reporting to the clan leader, someone is here. Who is it? The Phoenix clan leader asked. The guard said, it's Lin Woody. What? Did you say he's here? The Phoenix clan leader was shocked. Quickly go and invite him over. At the same time, he quickly sent a notice. The elders who informed him, Feng Jiu, Murong Qingcheng, and the old Phoenix, these people all knew about it. Feng Jiu was stunned when she heard about it. Really? She hurried over. Murong Qingcheng was overjoyed. He was so excited that he was about to cry. Great, Brother Xian was fine. The old Phoenix also found it unbelievable. Was there really a way to avoid the heavenly punishment? He also wanted to see it with his own eyes. For a moment, everyone gathered in the Phoenix main hall. While they were waiting anxiously, a figure walked over. He was wearing a black robe and had a handsome face. His expression was calm, and there was a confident smile on his face. That's right, Lin Woody. It was this guy. Countless Phoenix clan powerhouses were in an uproar. The roof of the main hall was about to be overturned. The old Phoenix came in front of Lin Xian like lightning. She grabbed Lin Xian and looked at him carefully. Are you really still alive? The Phoenix clan leader also came in person. An extremely cold aura erupted from his eyes. How did you avoid the heavenly punishment? Wait, that's not right. Your aura isn't that of a supreme sage. Could it be that you haven't broken through? As soon as these words came out, everyone was in an uproar. They had been so shocked by the fact that Lin Xian was still alive that they had forgotten to check his cultivation level. Now that they looked carefully, they realized that his cultivation was very strange. It was a little mysterious, but it was completely different from the supreme sage aura that they knew. After thinking about it, they realized that he hadn't broken through to the supreme sage realm. Could it be that he hadn't broken through and was here to avoid the heavenly punishment? Feng Jiu also walked over. Lin Xian looked at these people and said, it's a long story. You can think of it that way too. He couldn't explain it. What should he say? He had broken through to the supreme sage realm? This way, he couldn't explain it clearly. So he hadn't broken through. Feng Jiu heaved a sigh of relief. The Phoenix clan leader and the others were also relieved. If he had broken through and still avoided the heavenly punishment, it would be too terrifying. If he hadn't broken through, it would be understandable. At the same time, they frowned slightly. If that was the case, wouldn't it mean that he could only be a supreme sage for the rest of his life and couldn't break through? It seemed that this was the end of the road for this genius. Thinking of this, many people shook their heads. Even Feng Yu's eyes lit up. Would this young man still be qualified to be on equal footing with her in the future? Chapter 5140. There was a hint of disappointment in the Phoenix clan leader's eyes. This was the end of the young supreme being with no future. He didn't need to pay too much attention to it. Therefore, the gathering ended quickly, and everyone left the Phoenix main hall. Lin Xian didn't care. He followed Murong Qingcheng and the others back to his territory. Murong Qingcheng threw herself into Lin Xian's arms. Lin Xian smiled and comforted her. I'm back safely. Young master, did you really not break through? Can't you break through in the future? Yunue asked. She had been here all this time. The Crimson Dragon said, "How could it be? If this kid didn't break through, he wouldn't be smiling so happily." The Toad also said, "Show us your strength." The old phoenix was also there. She looked at Lin Xian with flickering eyes. Qing Qing said, "You have a way. Do you really have a way?" Lin Xian looked at the old phoenix with a complicated expression. Morong Qing Qing said, "It's okay. Master is on our side." Lin Xian nodded and said, "I did break through to the great sage. It's just that there are some changes in my aura. As for the specifics, I can't explain it." Breakthrough. Hearing this, Yunue was shocked. The old phoenix was also surprised. "Why, you don't believe me?" Lin Xian looked at Yunue and said, "Attack me with all your strength." Yunue said, "Really?" Lin Xian said, "Don't worry. Okay, then I won't hold back." Yunue shouted angrily and attacked with both palms. One side was sacred, and the other was demonic. This was an all-out attack. Even a great sage intermediate wouldn't be able to withstand it. However, Lin Xian stood there unmoved. With a clang, Yunue was pushed back. Her arms were numb. However, Lin Xian's body didn't have a single crack. How could it be? Yunue couldn't believe it. The old phoenix's pupils shrank. What a strong physique. You did break through. That's right. Lin Xian laughed. With a wave of his hand, the yin-yang image appeared and shrouded Yunue. Yunue was shrouded in an instant. How could this be? She felt despair. Previously, although she had lost to Lin Xian, she had only been suppressed after exchanging over 1,000 blows. But now, her opponent was able to suppress her with a single move. If the other party wanted to kill her, wouldn't he be able to do it with just a finger? The other party had really broken through. It was too terrifying. Yunue lowered her head. From now on, she would respect young master. Although she was also a top genius, she was nothing more than an ant in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian withdrew the yin-yang diagram and nodded. Old Phoenix also sighed. "It seems that they have underestimated you. Even this old man has underestimated you, young master. I don't have any other requests now. I just hope that in the future, even if you and Feng Jiu become enemies, you can show mercy and spare her life in the end." Lin Xian nodded. "Senior, don't worry. I won't kill Feng Jiu. That's good." Old Phoenix was also relieved. She could already foresee the expressions of the top geniuses, princes, and princesses when Lin Xian showed his true strength. She had previously guessed which disciple had entered the great saint realm in advance, but she didn't expect it to be the young man in front of her. "Senior, I hope you can keep the matter of my breakthrough a secret because I have to return to deal with a powerful enemy. I don't want him to get the news in advance and escape. Don't worry, this old man understands. We won't interfere too much in the affairs of young people like you." Then, Old Phoenix left. Lin Xian and Morong Qing Qing gathered together. The two of them had endless things to say. Outside, there was a storm. "Did you hear? Lin Wudi didn't die. He came back alive." "What?" The final winner was Lin Wudi. Yes, he was really too powerful. Had he broken through to the great saint realm? Then, who among the younger generation could be his opponent? No, according to reliable sources, Lin Wudi's aura was still that of a great saint. He didn't break through. No wonder. I was wondering how he could avoid the heavenly punishment. It turned out that he didn't break through. Can he still break through in the future? It's difficult. It's said that his path has come to an end. Voices of discussion rang out one after another. The news spread across the Yuhan continent. Countless people were talking about it. Some people sighed. Lin Wudi would probably become a part of history. When this news spread to wholly distant ancient city, countless people exclaimed in surprise. The people of the Dragon Palace gritted their teeth. Damn it, this kid didn't die. But soon, They sneered. He was abandoned by the immortal realm. The heavenly punishment threatened him. He could forget about breaking through in this lifetime. Ha ha! The people of the Blue Tribe laughed. They saw hope. As long as the Dragon Prince broke through and became a great saint, killing Lin Wuyi would be a piece of cake. The people of the Golden Crow Tribe and Zifu Tribe sneered. It wouldn't be long before they could get rid of a peerless enemy. On the other side, the people of the Nalan family, Duga family, and Fire Dragon Tribe frowned. Was Lin Xian really stagnant? This was very bad news for them. The people of the Divine Union shook their heads frantically. It was impossible. Boss Lin must have a way. So what if he was from the immortal graveyard? Didn't Boss Lin cultivate to the Saint King realm? He must have a way to break through. Cultivation. These people clenched their fists. No matter what, they would advance and retreat with Lin Xian. In a sacred mountain range, hundreds of people were farming there. They were cultivating spiritual herbs. Those spiritual herbs were crystal clear. Each of them was priceless. If they could be taken outside, a single one of them would be enough to make countless great saints go crazy. Beside the herb field was a lake. A lady was sitting beside the lake. She was dressed in white and looked like a fairy. At this moment, she was holding a scroll. Her eyes were shining. He avoided the heavenly punishment and didn't break through. This guy, he actually managed to deceive everyone in the world. This lady was none other than Yen Ruyu. The news in her hand was about Lin Xian's deeds in the Yuhun continent. She knew that Lin Xian was abandoned by the immortal realm. However, she didn't believe that he hadn't broken through. It was just that the people outside didn't know. Then Yen Ryu looked at the people who were working in the distance. These people were the only people left in the spirit zone. Yen Ryu's eyes were shining. Their ancestor was a great emperor who had received help from the spirit zone. However, they couldn't protect the spirit zone and let it be destroyed. She had sworn that she would take revenge. The 10,000 Dragons Court, the Dragon Prince, he wouldn't let him go. Yen Ryu stood up. It seemed like it was time to make a trip. She knew that there would be a battle between Lin Xian and the Dragon Prince. In addition, Lin Xian would definitely kill the Dragon Prince because of the enmity between the Black Sea's Dragon Tribe and the 10,000 Dragons Court. Even if Lin Xian could defeat the Dragon Prince after breaking through, it would be too difficult for him to kill the Dragon Prince. As the Emperor's son, the Dragon Prince had an extreme weapon. Therefore, she had to join forces with Lin Xian. You're tuning into the Mystic Fist YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.